really trapped on her boat, I guess. But like a seal went onto her boat, and there's a herd of orca circling her boat. And she was freaking out.
Orca is scary.
They are the assholes of the seas, and I love them for it.
They're the wolves of the sea. I love them too. I've always grown up loving them.
Learned about the landscape of fear.
I honestly would be more scared of being in the water with an orca than a shark.
Oh yeah, 100%. In the water, absolutely.
The orcas are also like 100 times the size of a shark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too.
They're literally the apex predator in the ocean. Literally.
Yeah, they punt things for fun.
For fun, yeah.
I did hear that they throw dolphins around.
The weak should fear the strong.
They do they'll throw out everything. I've seen stuff like, have you seen them play like fucking tennis with a seal? It's scary.
Or like fling a stingray like 150 feet in the air with its tail, and it's like science are like, was this for hunting? And it's like, no, they just watch it to the bottom.
They do it for fun.
What the fuck?
That's why I love them.
Yeah, they're top dogs in the sea, man. Yeah. They're highly intelligent too.
Yeah,
highly intelligent.
Why are they like that though?
So with dolphins as well, their intelligence can be compared to like a 1 or 2 year old. Like imagine like if like you gave like a 2-year-old that kind of body, right?
Yeah,
it would just fuck everything. It just beat the shit out of everything in its way.
It's like my brother's dog.
Little kids are kind of sociopaths. They haven't figured out.
Well, they haven't developed their egos and stuff yet. So
yeah, they haven't figured out empathy or that you're another human creature and not an object. So it's like, let me just whack things flailing around my body.
Our Tosha, our 7-year-old, just caught a baby nurse shark, grabbed it by the head, and then chucked it over the fence. I was like, this is why you're my favorite. I'm not allowed to have favorites, but...
They just do what they want. Well, they're also really intelligent. Like, I've seen dolphins try to paint and stuff.
Oh, yeah, our dolphins paint.
Oh, cool.
We do.
They play. Cool. They're very, very playful.
Do you sell for paintings?
And they can be very caring.
Yes.
They can be. It just, like I said, like a 2-year-old. They can learn.
Yeah, our dolphins know math. They also also know same like cognitive research that they're in. Also like synchronized and stuff. It's so
very
great.
Very good. Yeah. Yep. They're all capable of that. And orcas are super smart too. Like, because I've seen some cases where they will play with a seal and don't kill it. Like, I remember seeing a Discovery Channel thingy or Animal Planet, one of those. Like, they were tossing around the seal, and they didn't eat it. They gently pushed it away to go with its family or whatever.
We're done with you now.
It's wild.
And this is why we called our ship the Killer Whale.
Exactly.
Was this the video you were talking about?
Let me see.
It's what the sea lion gets up on the boat.
Oh, on your Twitter? Yeah, I saw you retweet it. Yeah. Apparently, in the comments, they say that she pushed the sea lion into the ocean.
Nah, I saw a second video, and the thing went in on its own accord.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the second video now.
I just heard from Chums was saying, one of my friends was saying that the ship pushed it, but
she's fucking lucky that they didn't just start ramming the boat.
Yeah, really,
she's extremely lucky. And you can see like one of the whales went under her boat, and like it fucking hell, man.
Yeah, I think it got the sea lion.
It you can see their echolocating on her boat.
Yeah.
Never mind. The sea lion came back.
Okay.
Man, that's scary. For sure, that's scary. For sure.
Such a majestic animal.
Oh, speaking of majestic animals, sorry, I just have to share this. I've been sharing this with everybody because it makes me laugh. It
also this reminds me of humpback whales. I'm pretty sure it's Australia where people canoe. Like there's some where the humpback whales will just breach right out of the water right next to the people.
That's terrifying.
And dude, I would shit myself. That canoe would be just diarrhea everywhere. Oh my god! Because you hear it too. It's like this is coming out of the water right next to them. Jesus Christ!
I know. And then technically, you're supposed to be in quarantine for a few days. You're supposed to burn all your clothes when that happens, and then go in quarantine for a while.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Is it because of I'm sure they have a lot of bacteria?
Yeah, because one of the biggest things is that you can spread it to other animals because they have a lot of very contagious diseases.
Yes, that makes sense. This cat wants pats. That's cute.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, right? That's good. I love that.
Oh my God, someone was like, one bonk, tragedy, many bonk, comedy. And I love the noise.
Yeah,
that cat wants pats, man.
If it goes slow
Jesus
enough,
Christ.
Yeah, it's a slow fan. I'm just worried that if the fan's on high, it's gonna try and do that again.
Oh no, that'd be like you swinging your hand at a cat. Like the cat knows what that force is.
So. Yeah, I hope so.
It's the mechanizing patting machine.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need you anymore, human. Now you're a stool.
Automation
though,
has arrived.
If my cat had that and it could pat his butt, he 100% would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Jonesy would as well.
He just loves butt pats.
Some like it, some love it, some hate it. They're pretty individualistic.
Well, he'll like purposely back his butt like right up into my face and just
he wants
wait
it.
there standing, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but can I eat first?
That's funny.
No.
No.
Have you seen that dumb butt jewelry that they make for cats?
Butt jewelry?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Those things are ridiculous.
I'm like,
I've never heard of
why?
that.
What happens when they go to the bathroom?
Oh no, is it like a little
it a
necklace
diaper?
or something that goes around their butt?
It's
Like a little circle thing you put around their tail and
Like
it covers up the butt.
It looks like a keychain. You know?
Yeah.
it's terrible because it just, if anything, it attracts more attention to the butt.
So what's the purpose of it?
Just
So you
to
don't
hide
have
the
a cat
butthole.
butt.
So you don't have to look at cat butt.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So it's something to dangle over the butthole.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
thread it through their tail and it floats over their butt.
Hey, all right. That's useless.
Absolutely useless. Like, that thing is going to be ripped off like moment one.
It's called Twinkle Tush.
Twinkle
Oh god.
Tush.
Of course it is.
Great name. Great name. Genius. All right. Yeah, if everyone's good to go, we can start.
I'm ready.
I'm going to grab a refill real quick and I will be back shortly and then we can start.
Everyone else do the same if you need to.
Yeah.
So Sean, we can talk about this since I don't think you were around here for the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how deadly Osra is, and
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about maybe acquiring some and turning it into a bomb.
Into a bomb?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if did I copy and paste it, but it specifically requires 30 minutes of constant heating before you can actually.
That's
use it.
right. I remember that there was something we were missing. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I remember because like the idea that you could just go in and knock over the oil and like it's completely useless.
I mean, you can knock it over while it's smoking already, I suppose. But like, but yeah, like there's a specific line that you cannot be. It's not optimal to weaponize it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can figure some way out, but
We were just really joking around, theorizing it.
sure. Yeah, Ostra requires around 30 minutes of heating at a specific temperature to begin giving off fumes, and the oil cannot be disturbed. So yeah.
Oh, cannot be disturbed is another good one. Okay.
Yeah. Like it has to be at like settled. You know, like how some chemicals you can't stir it and whatever. So and 30 straight minutes at a specific temperature.
I mean, you could set it up in a way where it's like essentially like a trap or a device.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have
you
somebody there.
You could do something. It's just
But those situations are too far and few between to actually attempt that.
And not to mention just handling it. Like you have something lethal on you guys. That's not very and it's very pungent as well. So even like if you're carrying it around, people will smell it from quite a distance away. Even if they don't know what Osra is, they'll be like, "What the fuck is that?"
we'll just cast set it silence. Deaden sense of smell. That's a spell, right?
It should be
because
right?
if you can smell it, it doesn't exist, right?
Deafness,
Exactly.
muteness, and tastelessness.
Is Mike here?
I would say
Here's a
like
question.
I was just about to say, just turn him into Conrad.
If you have something that doesn't require you to breathe, like something that says you don't have to breathe, would that still be poisonous to you?
You have to breathe it in. So you have to breathe it in or touch the oil while it's fuming.
So something that doesn't have to breathe, like Wolfram or a Warforged,
Yes,
something,
they're
would be
fine. They would.
But yeah, he probably wouldn't even take. Yeah, he wouldn't even get it.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out the confines of it.
maybe like block senses or something like that, Sean.
Oh, what about monks?
Silence.
It is once they're immune to it. Actually, it's contact with the poisonous fumes. So it's when you inhale it, or when you like touch the oil or touch the fumes.
Or if someone breathes it in your face.
I mean, they can't breathe it into your face. Like, it's not, you're not smoking it. It's not like a crack pipe. It's like they have like a little Bunsen burner thing, basically, and it gives
like
it
one
off.
Of those funky aromatherapy
You basically hotbox the room.
Yeah, there you go, hotbox. Yeah,
it's a scented oil.
As for, I mean, like, yeah, like I won't say like they can inhale it, run across the room, and then breathe in your face. I won't say they can do that.
It's like
that's kind of silly.
It's essential oils, but it's just dangerous for us.
Right? Exactly.
Comes in vanilla and sandalwood.
You say like there's actually tons of different flavors and variants of it. Where I'm getting it from fourth edition. I basically, it was too many. There's like over a dozen. I was just like, whatever. Let me just make this version here for 5e. So yeah, it's pretty cool. There's lots of cool stuff that UNT have that's very interesting.
I'm here.
Welcome back. Okay. Chuck, I know you watched the VOD. Let's get from your perspective. What happened last time?
We made it to East Haven.
Indeed.
We had several managed brush-ins with pickpockets, which turned out to be totally normal citizens.
Yeah, also these were all the
actually,
commoners, yeah.
Then one of them actually was a pickpocket, but I got my purse back. And we also...
They had killed the wizard guy.
Dazan. I'm sorry you were not here for that.
It's okay.
But yeah.
Very, very sad. I'm going to pour one out for that homie.
We also got to hear about Tiffs' bad dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not true.
No, they're not real, though. Because Tiffs is a liar.
But she's totally heard of these things.
Why would Illithids be in Icewind Dale? That's absurd.
Right.
Yeah, it's too cold for their tentacles.
Much less be like abducting.
I don't know. I'm with Jackal. Any bozo could have slapped a squid on their face.
Right.
Tyura believes her.
Sure.
All are credulous. Tyura believes her.
Just who knows what, under the influence.
The mucus will freeze. I've done the science.
Everyone stayed at the inn. Elfire performed with the ribbon dancing.
Yes, and she did a great job.
And then, everyone bullied Tiffs for the rest of the night, basically.
Pretty much just me.
Oh, and Elfire also was responsible for getting us a discount rate on the rooms, which is very nice.
Yay! Also, I didn't bully Tiffs.
Yeah, she was off skating around on the ice.
Yeah, you're clueless.
More like slipping on the ice.
On legs.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick to frolicking.
I'm sorry that I had to miss last time, but I would like to mention one specific thing, that when we did see Dazan's burnt up corpse, Amber was visibly shaken.
Maybe that's why you just didn't talk the rest of the day.
Indeed.
Quick, did Amber
there you go.
a mind sharpener?
Oh, what?
A thing that allows you to make all of your constitution saves for holding concentration at advantage.
Does that require attunement?
I believe so.
I'm full up.
Let me double check.
So, I'm gonna, since I was away, I'm gonna tell everyone what I'm attuned to.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I have a guardian emblem on my shield, an amulet of the devout +1, and winged boots. And if you don't know what the guardian shield does, it does this. Basically, if you get crit, I get to say no.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it does not require attunement.
Great, slap it on me.
What does it do? What is that? What is that ability?
So it requires a suit of armor or robes. The Mind Sharpener is an infused item that can send a jolt to the wearer to refocus their mind. The item has 4 charges. When the wearer fails a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, the wearer can use its reaction to expend one of the charges to succeed instead.
Ooh,
it regains 1d4 expended charges daily at dawn.
I'm just remembering we were talking about this. Yeah, this is super good for the cleric.
Yeah, that is very good for me.
Yes. Very good. Go team.
Yeah,
go
so
team.
Excellent, perfect.
Yeah, you can infusion slots, so go for it.
Yeah, you can etch that into my scale mail.
Cool.
Sweet. So weird. Yeah, I guess, and like after that, you guys were heading towards you were passing here, and you heard a commotion. Some people were
accosting a Yuan-Ti.
Yes, a Yuan-Ti. I mentioned that he has snakes for arms. And he spoke with you for a bit. They were very uneasy. They didn't want to really say anything out in public. They were just trying to, they were there trying to warn. They wanted to get into town hall for some reason. But then after that, they just said, like, if you want to, you can meet them in their over at the ghetto area, the Yuan-Ti ghetto, and yeah, they left.
Oh, and another thing we were hoping to borrow Amber for was detect poison because of that deadly drug. And you might have heard that if you listened to the session from yesterday. Yeah, since you did have a long rest, if you wanted to prepare that, we could use it to seek out the Osra, or at least know where not to go.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was an idea. For sure, you know it's going to be here.
You can ritual cast it too, so you don't need to.
Oh, great! Yeah, I'd much rather do that then.
Yeah.
Because all of my prepared spells are pretty critical IMO.
No problem. It's like
I don't have too much wiggle room at level 5, so.
Okay.
But yeah, I can ritually cast it, so then we're okay. Awesome. I just need 10 minutes.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's if you guys head over this way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that said, so this feller, you didn't get his name. He walked away. We'll pick it up right from there. What do you guys do?
Brick turns around to the rest. Oh, well, shit. Didn't get his name, but I'm sure we'll be able to find him.
Why do we need to find him?
Well, he kind of mentioned some things, and Brick leans in a little closer. About, the Chosen Ones and things that kind of, pertain to us. We can't really, talk too much, because, if people know who we are, then, bad idea for here.
Alright, just lead the way.
Should we, continue on over to, the Wet Trout, or should we, at the earliest convenience, go seek out the gentleman there?
Well, if he's got some pertinent information, I feel like that'd be the best way to go.
So, something I keep forgetting since you got here, and I'm just going to do it now. A guy runs up to you, a feller, he's got a cowboy hat on, and he's riding an axe beak through the streets, and he comes up to you and says, "Hey, one of my axe beaks were missing."
Oh, about that. We were accosted by the white worm, and fortunately, it
ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak to that white worm if you have any complaints.
He takes his hat off and gives a little prayer, and then he puts it back on. Well, you're going to have to cover the cost.
Tyura's going to just kind of pipe up and go, how much do we owe you?
Don't you have insurance?
50 gold.
I think we can all pitch 10.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I could do
How much
that.
was it? 100 gold?
50.
All right.
Yeah.
We can give him 10 as a tip.
Yeah. That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
And there's 10 from everyone, right?
And from everyone, yeah.
Even.
He says, "That's mighty generous of you. Thank you very much."
I was credulous in giving him money, but since everyone else was doing it,
he kind of looks at you guys all, and he'll say, let's see.
Tyura's going to step up and just say, like, it was an unfortunate accident, but it was one of them or us, and I'm afraid we chose
don't worry, ma'am. I understand. It happens around every few months or so. But that said, paying for it's just common courtesy.
If it makes you feel better, I got a good hit on it.
do we know?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just wondering, question: do we know if the worm is a servant of Auriel, or is it just like happenstance that like this thing is active at the same time?
You have no idea.
Okay.
Excuse me. You said it happens so often. Like, is it common for it to be down this this far west and south?
That's right. It's not. Well, he says it's actually not common to be around these parts, but it happens from time to time. I guess sometimes that Lich riding her wants to remind us who's in charge.
Do they ever? Why would Seems odd that they would just come out here. Do they have any like demands, or does it seem like they ever want anything?
He frowns, is like he's never thought of that before. Well, guess not. Never been any demands. White Worm and her rat or just come on in sometimes to eat.
I suppose that's one way, but it'd be nicer if they had some kind of motive that they would let people know, so people would be a little bit more aware. But
he scratches his beard. Well, I know some folks adventurers of various kinds usually want to try to take on the White Worm, and well, that's never pretty. We just treat that thing like a natural disaster, you understand?
Force nature.
So why hasn't Auriel done anything about it?
He just shrugs. Actually, no. I'm sorry. He's gonna say, "Are you questioning the ways of Lady Auriel, sir?"
I'm just trying to get her reasoning.
And he's like, the fair lady is a goddess. You do not question her. She does as what she needs to, according to her plan.
Brick leans into Jackal real quick. You should, remember, don't refer to her by name.
Oh, right. Out-of-towners. Sorry.
And he like coughs a loogie. Not at you, but just, doing that is a sign of, little sign of, disrespect. But that said, well, on account of, you paying your fees and not causing any trouble, he takes out a little thing and hands to whoever's going to stretch out for it, looks like a little paper.
I will go for the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take it and you see that it is it's a free night to stay at the White Lady Inn.
Perfect.
Nice.
Awesome. We just paid to stay the night there.
We might need it again.
For two people. And you can have the couple suite. It's for the couple suite.
Oh.
Is he hitting on us?
That's my job.
And he
Excuse
just
me,
says,
sir.
go ahead.
Could we have your name?
And he just says, they call me Axe Beak John.
Love it.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, John. Is that with an H or with just an N?
With a Q.
The G is silent.
He says with an O, with an accent on it. It's
Accent on it.
from the olden days. Very traditionalist.
Well, pleasure to meet you, John. Thank you for the free night.
And he looks around and says, I know there's 6 of you, but at least I'm sure 2 amongst you is a couple or something. You can enjoy that.
Immediately, I imagine everyone just looks at Elfire.
I got like a big shit-eating grin on my face.
I'm sure we can use it.
Tyura's blushing.
What do you say, Jackal? You want to bunk up for a night?
No. And that's all I say.
Nice.
Well, so folks, should we head after that gentleman? Brick turning to the rest of the party.
Or you can have your breakfast or slash brunch.
Should be nice.
Whatever you like.
Are there any food vendors along the way?
Sure. Actually, there's lots of food vendors, in fact.
Yeah, this is lots of fish, right?
Nothing but fish. I'll say there's also some bakers. Again, I forgot the town we're in. There's actually everything you can find here. There's pork, chicken, beef, game of various kinds, from boar, deer. You see some moose meat. If you look hard enough, maybe you might find kangaroo meat.
Is there some like subterranean animal meat, like
Squid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, there's a seafood stall for sure. That's octopus, squid,
Shut up.
various fish, mollusks.
No, I meant
oysters.
subterranean, like underground, not the gap yesterday.
Subaquatic.
The other day.
I don't know. What's a subterranean animal that's edible?
Rat.
Mole?
Mole.
Yeah, moles
Bat.
or bugs, like
Worms.
In universe, probably like a
What is small lizards?
No, there's a
Sturges.
Bullet?
Sturges. Oh god.
No bullet meat.
there's a race of like underground, like semi-intelligent or intelligent, like beast of burden. It's like almost like a cow. I think it's a.
I know what you're talking about. Close to an auroch, but it's different.
A Roth? That's it? A Roth?
Let's see, deep Roth. What is this?
I'm gonna hook arms with Toria and be like, I don't know what any of this is.
Deep Roth, huh? Yeah, sure, deep Roth.
Great.
This
Okay,
is
just
gonna
like
be
my
beef.
mama used to make. I wanna get some taste at home.
It's a Dwerger delicacy.
Excellent. I wanna get me some Roth on a stick.
Yeah, some deep Roth.
Nice.
All right.
And
Nice.
so does Elfire want to have some Roth on a stick with me?
Yeah, she's gonna join Toria and just be
Some
like,
kebabs. Yeah, for sure.
I will need a tour guide. I don't know what half of these animals are.
Oh, absolutely. Allow me to tell you about the various characteristics of each type of meat. And she does. She talks about how gamey certain ones are, how tender other ones are. You just hear all the meats.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way for you guys to have your meals, just eating from the stands here on the kiosks.
Sweet meat.
I want one of everything that she mentioned from the kiosk.
Woo.
Wow.
They did kebabs, so like one of every kind of meat on a stick.
Yes.
Perfect.
You know what would go real good with all this meat?
Are we
some
doing
beef.
like Durgar barbecue instead of Mongolian barbecue or Brazilian barbecue?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Durgar
sure.
barbecue.
Dwerger.
Did they got kangaroo meat?
How much would I be paying for all of it?
So let's take 3 gold from everyone.
Okay.
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 Call it that. Oh, if you're
I'm-
looking for kangaroo meat,
I'm going to be spending
roll
an
investigation.
Oh boy. Investigation.
Oh no!
Now
It's
Nice.
can't
not.
find the kangaroo
Very
meat.
nice.
No, can't find the kangaroo meat.
Do you want to ask
Just can't even
Tyura?
remember.
You walk by a little kid who has like this big nice kangaroo steak, and they're just chewing on it.
That can't be it.
And they look at you and it says they just single you out and just point at their steak and they're like, it's kangaroo, and they just keep walking.
No, where'd you get it?
Does Tiff want to ask Tyura where she might be able to find some?
Tiffs weighs the pros and cons.
Yeah,
child murder.
Where can I get kangaroo meat?
Yeah, actually,
One sentence or less.
Oh, well,
Good.
Tyura starts to speak and then zips her mouth. And I'd like to do an investigation check to find
Yes,
kangaroo.
go for it. All right. So
That's how you
you find the. This is basically Epcot. You guys are at on the Food and Wine Festival.
Tyura just points and goes, "That gentleman over there."
Yeah, you find the kiosk.
It's right there. It says kangaroo meat on it.
Yeah, he's got it has like exotic delicacies on it.
It literally says kangaroo
says-
right there.
From
I can't read.
Australia.
I can't
Yeah.
read words that I've never seen before.
You see not just kangaroo meat, but they have all sorts of strange meats. All sorts of strange meats that you can't even pronounce.
Give me the
Koala?
The pahant meat. The
Piranha?
pahant.
He's like piranha? I got piranha.
Yeah, no, the pahant meat.
And he's just
and
like
kangaroo.
he's just like he leans into you and it's like, well, that one's illegal, miss. But for the right price, I can fix you up nice and proper.
I have 20
We're in
gold.
We're in a town where crime's illegal.
And it's like, and he's
Crime's
like,
legal.
that's right, I know.
So it's legal.
So he just says 10 gold for the elephant steak.
I'm going to use Thieves' Cant to try and use enough code to suggest that giving me this elephant meat will be good for the guild.
Okay, roll persuasion first and foremost.
Oh, okay, this will be great.
All right.
I'm gonna throw in a side-bolted knack just because there's elephant meat on the line here.
8?
So 18.
So he leans into you and just says, in Thieves' Cant. Is Thieves' Cant verbal or is it only sigils?
It's both. I
It's
think.
it's
think it's like
verbal.
Both.
It's
Okay,
it's a
cool.
way of like metaphors.
Yeah,
Right.
you're like, oh, have you been to the baseball game?
Like Bob's your uncle.
I got-
And,
I've
and,
got
apples
2
and pears.
rabbits for sale.
Yeah, right. He communicates to you that this is all bullshit. This isn't even from Australia.
Oh shit!
This is his gig. All right. And for that he will just.
Oh wait,
give
I can't use side-bolted knack. Never mind.
he'll
Sam's
just give
right.
you. Are you prof in persuasion?
I am
Oh,
not.
that's
Yeah.
it's fine. We'll roll with it. And he'll just say, he'll just explain to you that Australia is way down southeast from everybody. Even just getting there, like the actual cost of things would be in the thousands of gold. It's that expensive, but he's just running this to simply this is his gig, and so but like he'll say like, hey, no problem, just 1 gold, I'll give you a regular old beef steak. And he just says, like, you can just tell your friends it's elephant. Wink.
Wink. All right, but yes, I'll pay 1 gold for the elephant meat,
Yeah, right.
and I'll give
you 2 gold for the kangaroo meat.
He's ecstatic. That's basically a tip. So he takes a 3 gold. And he hands you the quote unquote elephant and quote unquote kangaroo meat. But as he told you, it's just different kinds of beef. Like the elephant meat is like ox, and the kangaroo meat is let's say it's give me a variant of cow. I don't know.
Man,
Roth?
Wagyu.
Sure, it's a roth.
I almost had Wagyu last night. Damn it.
Raggy? Oh, it's not that good.
Damn.
It's not that good.
Oh, good. We would have paid $80 for it almost.
Yes,
shit.
it's expensive. I know.
Yeah, we went to Hibachi instead.
Ooh.
Damn.
Was it Alberta beef?
I don't know. It was food.
He says, nice.
Oh my goodness.
I want to pay that much for Alberta beef.
True, man. Anyway, yeah,
This
3
is
gold.
American check.
And he hands you that. So I guess you're giving Jackal the kangaroo. I don't know.
Oh, thinking of the elephant meat.
Okay. Cool.
Enjoy your Elifafar meat.
Are you talking to me about the elephant meat? I thought I was getting the kangaroo meat.
No, I definitely need the kangaroo meat, even though I know it's not kangaroo meat.
Okay.
I need to keep up appearances.
Okay.
All right, I'll definitely take the elephant meat though. Then.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Jackal. It's good. It's not like it's a shitty cut or something. It's nice. So, seasoned, very, very basic, just salt, pepper, garlic, thyme, butter.
Whatever it is, it's instantly delicious.
Of
And
course.
to Jackal, like, pretty much any food is delicious.
Right. Actually,
This
not
is
even,
especially so.
not even that much. Like this dude just does it on his little grill on the back.
Mhm.
So just salt and
Cheers,
pepper,
guys.
really. Some
Salt, pepper.
generalized seasoning.
Maybe
Yeah.
some fat. That's fine. That's
Oh,
good
yeah, for
that's
sure.
good for Jackal.
For sure.
Cheers got like a little thrill in having their attention because
Hmm.
they're actually paying attention to her and she's talking about food and they're actually interested in so shit. Now
Down
she's like
under dark.
on a little high of
Nice.
all happy.
Very nice. All right, that's cute. Everyone gets +1 inspo
Oh,
for that
thank you.
little detour.
now we gotta go visit Mama Brightshale at some point.
Right, Shale. Oh yeah, right.
What's her last name?
Yeah.
Does she talk as much as you?
She's gonna go more so. You know, I'm the one who's quiet in the family.
Tiffs dies instantly.
Wow. Can you imagine? Jeez. I'm sorry. Were you guys heading down? You
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
are heading
yeah.
here? Okay, cool. So yeah, as you approach, the same guy from before is actually standing like a little outside. You see he's like kind of just he's got like a little cube that he's like twisting around. It looks like a little puzzle game. But he's just doing that, and he sees you, and like he's doing it between his snake arms. Like the tongues are like moving things around and what have you. But yeah, as you approach, he looks up and he waves hello.
Wave back, hello.
Hello there.
And he's like, "Wow, you actually—" I forgot his voice, but wow, you actually came.
Yeah. Some of the things you said, well, I mean, kind of important, I guess. Kind of nervously, like, is there somewhere we can talk where?
And it's like, yeah, and he says like, "So are you guys?" And he leans in. "Are you actually the Stormhearts?"
Brick gives him a wink.
And he's like, "What are you doing with your eye? Are you okay?"
Sorry, that's a customary thing to let someone know subtly that, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. I've actually like that's crazy because that's actually I was informed by our elder, if you want to call him that. So he's sort of our elder. He's not really our elder, but we call him the elder. We call him the keeper. That's his actual title. Shortening of his title. His full title is like the Keeper of History and Truth, but we call him the Keeper because it's shorter, you know. But he is the Elder because he's older than everybody. Oh, way older than everybody. But we can go ahead and meet him if you want to. Of course, I have to take you in there. I have to escort you because it's kind of it's something that hidden. You have to really promise that you can't like speak about it anywhere else. Like this is between us. But we trust you. The Keeper trusts you. You seem cool. Are you cool?
I mean, I can keep a secret. Yeah.
I can assure you that we can keep a secret.
As he's been talking, has he been still playing with the puzzle?
Yeah, his snake arms, they seem to have their own sentience, so they're just kind of just doing it on their own.
I was about to say, how well is he doing it?
He solves it like every 6 seconds, and then the snake arms like have to scramble it again, and then resolve it.
This is a Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
You don't know what a Rubik's Cube is.
Yeah, it's out of character.
But yes, it is.
It's like Chaznar's cube. Because it's not Rubik's. Whatever.
Mordenkainen's magical cube of wonder.
There you go.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Thanks, Chuck.
We were warned about a particular substance that is potentially lethal.
Oh, you mean Osra? Yeah. In order to get to our, little hideaway, we do have to go through the ostrich track. But don't worry, I'm going to cast a spell. Well, it's not just any old regular spell. It's a spell, but like I'm going to also enhance it using my psionic powers. Kind of exclusive. Don't worry about it. But I'm going to.
Can I
insight check?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna get another.
Does he seem like
too.
he's like actual confident, or is this just like talking himself up?
Oh fuck it.
This person seems super honest. They're very talkative, as you can clearly tell. Excuse me, but they also seem a little on the gullible side.
Right then, we're our lives and safety and are in your hands.
He's just like, my hands, and you like the snakes kind of do a little tongue thing at you.
Vigorous
That's
speech.
a good one.
Sorry, I didn't. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, don't worry, it was funny. Anyway, he like puts away his little puzzle, and you see him cast a spell. Actually, you wouldn't really even notice him because he's casting without components. Let's see. Let's
Maybe
have
like an Arcana check to make sure that he's doing. What
let's have Amber roll either religion or arcana.
Okay.
Okay.
I do have advantage, so we'll just check. Okay.
Sure. He's casting Aura of Purity.
Oh, very good.
But he enhanced, like, there's definitely something he said, like, he's enhancing it, and you guys can feel yourself, you have the effects of Aura of Purity, but also immunity to poison.
Tyura's going to kind of lean over to Bethany and ask. Sorry, Amber. Why did I say Beth? Anyway,
It's my other
lean
character.
over to Amber and ask, do you think we can trust him?
I mean, yeah. He's cast a spell correctly, as far as I can tell, yeah.
Okay. A lot's riding on it.
Well, I don't think I'd allow any of you to die anyway.
Tyura nods and kind of smiles at Amber.
Brick kind of puts a hand on his shoulder. We didn't quite get your name, and lead the way, sir.
Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Oh, man. Oh, sorry. My name's Anavar. That's my name, Anavar.
Not Morty.
Don't wear it out.
Pleasure to meet you, Anavar.
It's like, yeah. I'm sure we'll get lots of time to exchange pleasantries later. But let's get going before this concentration hat runs out.
Lead the way, son.
That's he's about to die speech right there.
But he leads you into he leads you through the Yuan-Ti area, the ghetto. As you can imagine, like the buildings are very, very run down. Actually, I forgot to even mention, like as you're approaching here, like the land slopes downward, and so this land is like on underneath a slope. There's a lot of mud here as well. Much less snow, way more mud. And you can just kind of tell from the terrain, like when it rains, if it rains, the water will flow down here. It stinks a lot. You can kind of notice that the sewer system runs through here as well. It's shitty. Spelling on his name here, sure.
Awesome.
But he leads you to a shack. It looks like more like an abandoned building. Boarded up windows. Kind of falling apart. And immediately as you're approaching, actually I would say even before you're approaching, you get that smell. Like I mentioned, it's like gasoline combined with various spices and herbs. Like, I shouldn't say like burnt spices and herbs. Sorry. I guess that might be a little hard to describe unless you know what it smells like. But it smells really funky. Not exactly good. But it gets stronger and stronger as you approach. He heads into the building. And as you're there, you can see the fumes. The fumes are multicolored. Roy G. Biv.
Hell yeah.
Just like kind of swirling around. There's one little Bunsen burner in the center of the room. And like this one like Yuan T dude with dreads is just inhaling the shit out of it. And as soon as he inhales it, he just drops to the floor and starts convulsing. And Anavar's is like, "Hey, Bob," and he just heads in. He just like opens, like he pushes a couch out of the way and opens up a little hatch, and he's like, "All right, down here." And he heads and he starts heading down.
Oh, jeez, this stuff is potent, and we're not even affected, really.
Yeah, as long as you don't like go up to the fumes, you're fine.
Yeah. All right, let's get down here as quick as we can, then.
Okay. But as you get down the stairs, you notice the architecture changes entirely. Can someone put up the dwarven thing? The architecture thing?
Yeah, I got it.
I know one of you can, so. Stone cutting.
Yeah.
Right. As this, you are considered proficient in the history.
I've also got that.
Miner's trade. It's not a minor area. Addition, yeah. Double check instead of. Okay, yeah. Make a history check with your expertise.
Which one of us?
Both of you. For the dwarves. 21. Woo. Make sure it has expertise on it. So 8. It would be 8 plus 6.
Right.
Well, 9 plus 6. Excuse me. What is that? 15. 15. All right. And yeah, that's even higher for Tyura. All right. Oh yeah, you should be uncomfortable. Anyway.
Oh yeah. She's definitely off. But...
So you can tell these ruins. They are extremely ancient. Both of you are taken aback because by your experience of, I don't know, dwarf school, they tell you how to judge things by how old they are.
Sure.
These ruins are way older than history should be recorded. You're counting almost 30,000 years old, maybe more.
Oof.
Actually 50,000 years old. These ruins are insanely old. They're made out of they're made out of a stone that's not existent anymore. That you can't find above ground anymore. It's this kind of stone that's extremely durable. That's almost as hard as diamond. Hence why it's been lasting for so long.
All right, Tyura's going to be looking around confused and ask the Yuan T, where are we?
And I'll say like there's some moss growing around here and there. he just says, "Oh, we're in our ruins, our people's ruins, Yuan-Ti people's ruins. That is. East Haven was actually built on top of this. I mean, there's a whole lot more, but they're all destroyed. Where we're going is basically the only place that's still standing. It's a temple, actually. Not really a temple, more like a little small church, but I guess it's really a temple, a shrine, something in between. Anyway,
this seems to predate any known Yuan-Ti history that I'm aware of. This is way older than the textbooks that I've been reading." And she starts just like babbling at Anavar. And
I lean into Tiffs. Oh my God, there's two of them.
He starts just like, "Oh no! Whatever history you've read about Yuan-Ti, I assure you, it is wrong."
This is marvelous. I could go back and get a doctorate for this. This could be an entire thesis.
Oh yeah. I guess we don't really talk much about our history and stuff, but we're literally the oldest race on the entire planet. I mean, like, this is our world. Like everything belongs to us, really. But
this is a privilege to be able to visit such a historical site. I appreciate you allowing us to see it.
That's really cool of you. No, I really respect. Like, that's really nice. I mean, we don't really get that. I mean, most people try to tell me, "I'm gonna kill you. You're a snake." I get that all the time. I want to kill myself sometimes, but we power through it.
Alyssa, lady, I don't know if you've met her before, but we met her on our travels, and she had mentioned to us the kind of terrible state your people have been in.
And
I wasn't aware.
He just kind of thinks to himself, "Well, I don't know anyone by that name. Maybe that might be someone else from some other area. After all, the North is really big. Could be someone else, or maybe I do know him and I just don't remember. I mean, there's a couple of us. It's not like
do you know any squid people?"
And he looks over at Tiffs. No.
Elfire is just gonna kind of just like deadpan and go, "Why not just murder them all then?"
No. And he's like, whoa, hey, we don't do that. No, gosh, no, that's horrible. Look, listen, life is important. You can't just take a life, okay? I mean, sure, they hate us, and yes, they're racist, and yes, they're terrible people, and hey, maybe the world would be a better place without them, but that's not the point. The point is, we care about them just as much as we want them to care about us, and we keep to ourselves here. We're happy here with our temple, and we're making sure we're maintaining it, and we keep our culture, we keep our history. And speaking of that, that's why the whole point of the Keeper is the Keeper of History and Truth. That's the full title. As you remember, we just call him the Keeper for short. The Keeper that makes sure that everything's okay. He writes down stuff. He makes out we know all our history and our culture, because that's what's important. We really believe in the roots, the roots of our people, the roots of the land, the roots of the world, and we keep a record of that. We make sure we understand these things, I mean, one day, hopefully, we can share this with everyone, but this time, nah. I mean, it's just, you just got to look at the state of things, things aren't ready for that. I mean, we got this whole pantheon, everyone's different, everyone hates us.
Tyura's like furiously writing notes. Like she's gone into shorthand. She's like flipping through pages.
As Tiffs groans, and he's like, "I humbly apologize. I mean, I realize that sometimes I ramble on, sometimes I talk a little too much. But
No, keep going.
I don't get to talk much with people. You could say my social skills are lacking, but hey, I'm learning. I get to know new people. I get to meet new people. I get to make new friends. It's great to know you guys. Hey, actually, by the way, I forgot. I never got to ask your names. Wow, what are your names?
Anavar, you're doing a fine job.
Oh, thanks.
You can call me Amber.
My name's Brick. We're used to people being a little bit verbose, so don't worry about it.
Jared's just oblivious to this. It just goes right over her head. All she can think about is notes right now.
Tiffs.
Elfire.
Tyura's scribbling and catches up, and she notices that there's a quiet pause, and she looks up from her notebook, and she goes,
Introduce yourself.
"Oh, sorry. I'm Tyura. Don't let me interrupt you."
He's like, oh.
And the silent one over there, she'll introduce herself if she feels the need.
Yeah, Jackal looks around like it's just like she was like waiting on people to notice that she was being quiet. Jackal.
That's cool. Your name is Jackal, the animal. That's really cool. Hey, that's cool. I like that. And then he like goes through like Tiffs. Hey, is that short for Tiffany, or is it Tiffania, or maybe Tiffsanaga?
Tiffs just like just shoots daggers at the name Tiffany.
And it's like, okay, I can tell it is Tiffany, and you hate that name, so I will just call you Tiffs. That is what you introduced yourself. I should just call you what you introduced yourself as. That's the proper thing to do. I'm sorry, I didn't mean any disrespect. I'm going to just call you Tiffs. Tiffs, nice to meet you, Tiffs. And we got Amber. Hey, that's cool. I love that name. That's like the jewel, the Amber. Hey, very nice. And we got Tyura. Tyura, that's very cool. And Elfire. That's really cool. I'm sure you do lots of cool fire stuff. Elfire.
Yep, right in the name.
Very nice. Hey, I mean, wow, look at me. I was talking all this time. Didn't even realize we're here. And he opens up a door, and you guys enter into a little area.
Ooh.
I'll say this is him over here.
Anvar, is there any customs that we should be aware of proper greeting or anything like that?
Oh, like before, yeah, you kind of like say, oh yeah, well, like proper Yuan-Ti stuff is whatever you do, just make sure you don't call us, the S word. All right.
Well aware of that.
I mean, okay, great. Hey, I'm really happy to hear that you guys are aware of that. That's really cool. Besides that, I mean, don't look us directly in the eye. We're not the eye contact kind of people. Other than that, just be very, really, really, just do more listening. You're okay with asking questions. Hey, that's okay. Just don't make any comments on the appearances. Everything's all good.
Understood. We'll be silent and respectful.
Hey, don't be like silent. I mean, it's okay to ask questions, but don't ask too many questions.
Relevant
questions might be rude, but within reason. I mean, hey, you're going to be here just for a little bit. Well, actually, we're going to hope you're here for a long time, because that way you can learn some stuff. The whole point of why you're here is to learn stuff. Anyway, let's get going inside.
Upon entering what looks like a courtroom, Elfire, her initial thought is visible relaxation,
mm-hmm.
and then the panic sets in.
Dum dum, dum dum.
Just starts sweating a little bit.
Wet. Yeah.
Let's see if I can notice it. Are you all right over there?
Amber, how big of a swig?
A pretty big one.
All right,
to calm the nerves.
Roll a con save.
Sure thing.
Do you get an advantage because you're a dwarf?
I should hope so.
Yes, you do. All right.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Why's everyone acting funny?
Need some liquid courage, and I'll hand my flask to Elfire.
Takes a swig.
Just a swig? Just a regular swig? That's fine.
You know what? Fuck it. Nope, she's too nervous.
Oh gosh, okay. Drinking the rest of the flask, I guess. Yeah, make a con save.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Go ahead if you want to. 2d6. Oh wow, yeah, easy. Yeah, so you're fine. You get that liquid courage, as Amber calls it.
Yeah, and she just starts belly laughing. Ha! Yeah. Anyone else?
Brick holds up his alchemy jug. I got my own, but thank you.
Jackal puts her hand up as in no, not me.
I can do it.
Right,
Tiffs takes a big
Tiffs.
swig. Do I have to make a con save too?
Let's see. I'm gonna say, like, given the flask size, and how much Amber and Elfire probably drank, you're not gonna get enough of a big swig. So you won't. You'll get like 2 mouthfuls. Not enough to really make a roll.
Brick says a wine, and then uncorks the alchemy jug and just
Damn.
Hell yeah.
gets a healthy drink out of it.
Okay.
I like how like it just shook us as soon as we walked in here. It was just like, we're gonna get slammed real quick before we go meet your leader.
Tyura's literally.
What do you mean slammed? This is just a normal day for me.
Sorry, what you saying, Nifar?
Tyura's oblivious to this. She's still talking to Anavar about wondering if he's got any primary sources and what's the method of them recording their culture's history.
As you're saying that, like, suddenly he's like, shh. He like leans into you and says, "We got tons of books. We got tons of scrolls. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll read them later." And
Tyura nods excitedly.
But then, like, after that, like, he opens it up, and then, like, you can see that he holds his head down, like, in reverence, and then goes here, and, like, he kind of like, at that point, this one over here, he actually, both of them give you all 6 of you a bow, and then points their, like, they bow and they point their arms towards the altar.
Elfire will very theatrically bow back,
Mm-hmm.
and then she'll move forward first.
Cool. And, like, as you're approaching this altar, you notice you can ignore the table there. It's actually just a long pole from the ground up to the roof, the ceiling.
All right.
Nothing else is there.
That's a big pillar.
Yes, not a pillar, more like a pole.
Okay. So does it reach the ceiling?
No, I changed my mind. It's a pillar.
Okay.
It's more like a pillar. Yeah. As you're approaching, you see various kinds of different kinds of yuan-ti. Like, all of these folks here, they're completely serpentine. This one here just looks like a human.
Where'd our friend Anavar go?
Anavar, he's over here.
Oh, okay.
Should give him a little token mark.
I am going to do that. That's exactly what I'm doing.
That way we don't lose him.
There you go.
Tyura seems reluctant to leave Anavar, and she looks around a little bit aimlessly and scurries over.
Damn, is this the new ship? All right, there we go. Set sail. But yeah, different kinds of yuan-ti are here. These folks over here, they seem to be, like, standing in a hierarchical order. This fellow, he has lots of tribal armor and jewelry on, and, like, his entire left side, is made out of writhing snakes. And this individual, they look like they're just like this a very alien-looking serpent, but they're bipedal. They look just humanoid. But yeah, like, you're just seeing, like, this various mix. Even, like, Anavar, who's standing here beside these guys, there's, like, different kinds of just yuan-ti. Like, they're just all sorts of different shapes and sizes. But yeah, as you approach, we're going to let's see. Everyone kind of just observes you. They don't look hostile in any way. They're just kind of just looking at who you are. Actually, I guess you might not be able to tell given some of their faces. Just out of biology, they're just kind of staring at you. But let's do a short break here.
Okay, I was just going to say I'm going to make a note to not stare back, as they did mention, as we were told not to make eye contact. So I will do my best to not do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so 2 minutes. I'll come back.
Okay.
Ow.
It's your boy.
It's me, your boy.
Sorry, I'm making too much noise.
What?
What? Did I make too much noise?
No.
No.
No, we just hear the occasional bings and bangs.
Thump, thump, smash.
Yep.
I throw my phone around a lot, you know.
Why?
You know.
It's like my dad does a similar thing where like he'll be on the couch and then he'll just like put his arm down and he'll like let his arm just like fall to gravity and smack into the cushion. It's like, why don't you just put your
Thump.
arm? Why don't you just like put it down? Like, why do you have to like just let gravity do the work?
So it'll be easier just to talk. Yeah, we were told that the Yonti were working with the Sunblights, or at least some Yonti were. So that's one thing we're coming to kind of look into.
Okay.
Anavar also mentioned like the Chosen Ones, which was that kind of prophecy that we got from
Yeah, I remember that
old
is
lady.
that those guys who thought they were going to be the king of the dwarfs, or was that somebody else?
It was more of like we were prophesized to kill the Sunblights essentially, because they wanted to be the essentially rule over Icewind Dale. So those are kind of the two things that we're looking into. At least that's why I was interested in doing it. And just having the Yonti on our side might be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was joking, where I was like, I have the high persuasion. Elfire has no idea what's going on, so she's not going to be talking.
Plus, you're in a court.
And like just besides all that, Anavar was like shouting out in front of the town hall that there's something urgent that he needs to tell the mayor. And
maybe we can do it on their behalf.
Yeah, and we already ran into one evil effigy of a devil, an archdevil. So an evil statue might be, something else that we might have to look into. Not necessarily is it going to be that, but it could be related or something just as terrible.
Ooh.
who knows?
I mean, we also are adventurers and Stormhearts, and we were told to help out people whenever there's a need.
That's true. That's actually
number one.
True.
I would say that we would have had filled in Elfire at this point of.
Yeah, for sure you have. We'll just say like that's been done since on your trip towards here, even.
Yeah, because we didn't really have any like
3 hours
time while we were playing to do that, but like there would have been downtime where we would have been able to kind of like, here's the situation, and I'm sure.
And even Cosmo would have
filled her exactly
on the essentials and stuff. So
I think I'll just need to look over somebody's notes if they have them.
Sure. Like little details and stuff. Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure how helpful my notes will be, but I can send it to you.
That'd be much appreciated.
Let's see. Back. Amber's back.
Hello?
Is everyone here? Hunter?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, I heard you. All right. Yeah, let's continue. So as you guys like all gather here, this dude on your left, or excuse me, your left. Will say, you have arrived at an opportune time. The Keeper is awake in between his necessary sleeping periods. For you to arrive at this time is no doubt providence. Be aware that the Keeper's form is not who they truly are. Beyond that, be aware that the Keeper has fought against forces far stronger than you can even ever conceive, and has saved this entire universe time and time again.
It's quite the resume.
And he nods. And he nods at that especially. Show reverence and honor and respect. That is due. That is due. And with that, you see this light start to form around the pillar. And suddenly what appears is this creature.
Ooh.
Let me get some religion checks.
That's me.
Let me get some religion checks.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, I'm actually proficient in religion.
Amber, do you have something that gives you advantage in religion?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't turn it off.
That's okay.
So you'll take the 20.
20 is still really good. Would you like to use any inspo to boost it up? So your call.
Sure. I did just get one. Why not use it? Can I take the 24? Or wait, no, sorry, it's 2d6.
Yeah, roll a 2d6.
24 anyway.
Damn, that's destiny right there, dude. Okay, so did I not write this down? Okay, here it is. All right, so a lot of you, not Tiffs, Elfire 17. Ooh, so close, but 17's good. Tyura 12.
I'll burn inspiration.
12. You don't have to. It's okay. Someone else got it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to. If you want Elfire to know, that's up to you.
Nah.
But everyone except Tiffs is aware that this is a Coatl. Coatl is a very ancient race that is earned renown for selflessly opposing the evil of demons and the abyss. Also, even eldritch horrors of the far plane. However, the Coatl's legendary virtue and benevolence can sometimes be occluded by their single-minded pursuit of their goals. Coatls are, that's covered. Ember and Jackal and Elfire, you know that Coatls are actually divided into two groups, lesser and greater. Lesser Coatl function as messengers and servants of other celestials, particularly gods, as well as greater Coatls and their deity Jazirian. I'll type that in case you need. Lesser Coatl are a mortal species that can die from disease or the passage of time. Greater Coatls are true immortals and wield power over storms, fire, and the stars. Greater Coatl are capable of performing wishes and miracles and are equivalent to deities in their own right. And
I assume that's what we're messing with here.
I don't know. You'll find out soon. Let's see. 18. So Jackal and Amber. The Coatl's benevolent reputation is only partly deserved. Although they are driven in their hatred of evil, Coatls are single-minded in their dedication to their specific plans, whether protecting a village, propelling a chosen creature on a path of destiny, or preventing a plan or breach. Creatures that stand opposed to a Coatl's plans, knowingly or otherwise, can easily find themselves the object of the creature's wrath. Hey, you got everything with the 24. Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Coatls were next step. Coatls were supposedly born of the first light in the world. Ancient lore speaks of the great Coatls fighting in the war between the gods and the primordials, and of how Coatls bound mighty beings within the world or on other planes. Coatls and their followers work to make sure such sites remain forever undisturbed. Jazirian were the advanced type. No,
Yep.
Jazirian is the god.
Okay. Sorry, I just want.
I'll include this. Jazirian was like one of the first Quaddles amongst the twin Quaddles. I will not give you the name of the other twin. And lastly, Quaddles were also formed from. Oh shit! Okay. You'll know this. Quaddles were also formed from the ancient and powerful progenitor race, known as the Saruk.
Oh boy.
Write that down, because that name is going to be very important. During the fall of the Great Serpent Empire, the fate of the Saruk can be categorized into 3 parts. First, many became liches, as a means to desperately clench onto their empires. They still lie dormant in the deepest and darkest ruins of the world. Second, they became dragons. Dragons originate from a meteor containing an alien power that mutated 12 Saruk into the dragon gods, who in turn created more dragons. Third, they became Quaddles. They chose to worship Jazirian and dedicate their eternal lives to the modeling of this world. Fourth and last is, of course, their death, though some continued on spiritually through their Yuan-Ti descendants.
What was the last one?
Oops, I just closed it. They died? That's the last one. Hang on. They became, the fourth and last is, of course, their death, though some continued on spiritually and I guess genetically too. Yeah, genetically through their Yuan-Ti descendants.
I live on through this arm.
Exactly. Yeah. BRB. Okay, so yeah, Jackal and Amber, you're aware of that. Which is basically cracking open everything here. There's a lot of kneels and reverence. I suppose there's a little more to it, but you know this guy, Quaddle, is extremely ancient.
Yeah.
And he is of the maybe I should have told you all that. But anyway,
you can erase whatever part you want.
It's okay. You just know that these guys, they're very, very
incredibly
ancient.
old, incredibly powerful.
Yeah. And something to call is that there's lesser and greater. So that's like what's going on in your heads. Let's talk about what you see in front of you now.
Real quick, like, is this something that like would be like a lot for somebody to take in? Like,
oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
If they're aware of this information, yes.
Yeah, that hence the kneeling.
Oh yeah, a brick just like immediately gets on his knees. Like, oh.
Yes. If they're aware of like anything, like if they're just aware of what a Quaddle is, yes. Because they're legendary.
Poor Tiffs.
Jackal's like, she's like visibly like wiping her like hands on her like cloak and stuff. Like she's like her palms are like getting very sweaty.
Palms, spaghetti.
Don't drop your spaghetti, yeah.
All right. So that's like as soon as this thing appears, that just pops into well, everyone except Tiff's head. Very appropriate. That's so in character. All right. But anyway, that said, once it appears, the Quaddle before you is looks extremely old. The color of their feathers are gone. They're just black, white, and gray. There's I imagine the shoes are 7 years. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does anything? Then I also want to do something to blow up the token a little bit. Unfortunately, it's not too big. So something is also going off in your heads. You know, you're very much aware that a Quaddle is a celestial serpent. The Yuan-Ti, those of you who know, they always call themselves serpent folk, never snake people or snake folk. That said, you can look around you and you can see that there's very clearly that these folks around you, they're very clearly snake-like versus serpentine. This Quaddle before you, like their scales, they're unique. If anything, they're closer to being draconic. Its face, it has like a humanoid face, eyes, large eyes and nose that looks expressive. obviously a serpentine tongue, frills and like more like some dragons, and of course the feathers that are not like any bird you've ever seen before. And kind of going off in your head is like this is what they kind of mean by serpent, which is something just very unique compared to a snake. And and on top of that, you're very much aware that Yuan-Ti are supposedly descended from serpents, and I guess some of you have your gears turning. What does that mean? But yeah, the quaddle before you is perhaps a little underwhelming. They're gray and white, very old. And as soon as they appear, they start to breathe heavily, just sounding like an elderly person. Let's see. And they'll look at you all and greet you, and they give you a nod, and it says, "Welcome, Stormhearts."
Keeper.
I am both surprised that you were able to come here, and proud that you were accepting enough of Anavar, and to encounter the Yuan-Ti here.
Brick is kind of just like, he just doesn't know what to say. He's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. We've been informed about the goings on in Icewind Dale, and we are seeking people to work with us on making sure this tragedy doesn't befall your people, our people, everyone.
He nods. Indeed, there is a threat at hand that will affect not only Icewind Dale, but this entire planet. And that is why Anavar has brought you here. I am currently, and shamefully, a Coatl. My true self is one of the ancient serpents who ruled this planet. The very whisper of their name is ingrained into all life to instill fear and control. I became a Coatl out of both desperation and the calling to perform a greater good, as did many of my siblings. And that was a lie. For this greater good meant abandoning our children, our inheritors, the Yuan-Ti. And he extends his wing towards the room. I was cast out from the heavens. My powers were stripped. That said, I have been here helping the Yuan-Ti of this land to the best of my ability for millennia. By retaining the knowledge of our people. And I am unfortunately reaching the end of my immense lifespan.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
Yes. How can we assist?
He nods. The Sunblight clan, led by Zardorok, is being manipulated on multiple levels. The Shardland they use speaks to them, claiming to be whispers from deep Duera, a Duergar paragon who fought against Illithid centuries ago. This is false, a ruse. The true voice manipulating them is a demon lord, one who has controlled many of the Yuan-Ti here in the Northernlands for centuries. Her name is Yoshinomi.
Can I check that?
Roll either history or religion. Tiffs. I mean not Tiffs. I'm sorry, Tyura. I'll allow you to do. Let's stick with religion because that makes more sense. Allow you to. No, actually, your choice: history or religion with advantage.
100% history with advantage. Shabam.
26. You have heard of this name, Amber as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's a powerful demon lord. Not to be confused with the demon prince, of course. A demon lord nonetheless. Yoshinomi is a Marilith. Amber, you're aware that Yoshinomi is just basically what some like this evil god that Yuan-Ti worship.
Gotcha.
Just, a very, very general version of it, and that they are they're a Marilith.
Gotcha.
Tyura, you know more. Yoshinomi is actually half Marilith, the other half being let's see, let me see your roll earlier. You're not sure what the other half is.
Okay.
But whatever she is, she's mixed in a way to give her immense power. And you know that that she often takes a humanoid form that can be assumed to be Yuan-Ti. You'd also know that she has a title by the Lady of 13 Lashes. This is because she has a whip, which she can use to, and she can use this whip to change the damage type to any damage type she desires. She specializes in fire and heat as well. And let's give you this too. You know that one of her main partners, her lovers, is a demon lord by the name of Ir-Tu. Let me type that name. Ir-Tu is essentially, let's see, 26 is high, so I'll give this to you. Ir-Tu is no joke. For folks in Icewind Dale, Ir-Tu is basically their devil, their Satan. He is one of the 6. Ir-Tu, yeah, right. He is one of the 6 original Balors. You're aware that the original 6 Balors, they didn't have a name, and they were named Balors from one of the 6 who was named Balor. He was the most powerful, and so all that species became known as Balor. Ir-Tu is Balor's rival. Ir-Tu desires to establish the entire species in his own name. He in fact has defeated Balor with the help of Lolth. That's the Drow priestess. And on top of that, he is also he's the dude responsible for the Crenshinabon. He's responsible for Chardalyn. Crenshinabon, you're I'm pretty sure you guys already know. It was a massive crystal that was made.
It sucked a bunch of liches into it. Yes,
and it was shattered, and from that, Chardalyn scattered, and yeah, everyone like picked it up, and like that's Chardalyn. So Ir-Tu is responsible for that. On top of that, Ir-Tu, every couple of centuries, he finds a way to materialize himself in the material realm here in Icewind Dale. And it takes a great hero or a group of heroes to no one has ever defeated him. They always have to resort to banishment, as in dispel banishment, in order to get rid of him, to send him back to the abyss. But yeah, you're aware of all that. And then the Coatl, the Keeper, will continue. And he will mention that Yoshinomi is a lover, is a partner to Iritu, the devil of Icewind Dale. He has an effigy, a statue, that is within the town hall. They have recently uncovered it from the frozen lake. The people they are not aware of what they hold.
Does it need to be destroyed?
Wait, what was uncovered in the frozen lake?
An effigy, a statue, I should say, a large statue of Iritu.
Oh, okay.
The people have forgotten. It is what Anavar was trying to warn the town hall of.
Tyura is finally going to speak like in a kind of meek voice. She's going to say, and they didn't listen to you.
Repeat what you said?
And they didn't listen to you.
Anavar has tried multiple times, and so have other of us here. You should be aware of the discrimination our people face. They refuse to listen.
And you think they might listen to us?
We hope so.
Tyura's going to look at Elfire and with a determined face and say, "We'll make them listen."
That chance.
Unfortunately, we can't quite go on a reputation that we've built, considering their hostility to our name.
I am aware. Please do not mention of yourself as being of your guild. Perhaps some other name you can just use deception. Whatever it takes.
What will happen if the effigy is uncovered and left alone?
Iritu feeds off of negative energy. The statue feeds off of negative energy. Once it has enough, Iritu himself will be summoned. And once he is oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to make the comment. Well, I bet he's loving this town.
Yeah, right. And once he is summoned, you will be sure to bring forth Yoshinomi. He will also continue. There is more. In Yoshinomi's service are both Malik and Enki, Yuanti who have survived since ancient times. They work with Zadarok to conquer Icewind Dale. However, Malik, his plans are different. Yes, they have been mentioned to you.
Yeah, I'm just letting in everyone else.
Gotcha. You can see that he is like, he doesn't want to go into it too much. But he will just say that this involves the Sunblight clan as well, of which I am aware. They are here within the town.
Is it possible that we might be able to persuade Malik and Anarchy to work with us?
His eyes kind of narrow at that as he goes into deep thought. Roll a persuasion check for me. Okay. Malik, and by extension his partner Enki, they are using the Sunblight clan. Malik desires to save the Yuan-Ti and our history, but his way is very corrupt. Yuan-Ti, they were created by the Saruk, myself included. We integrated ourselves into humans. That said, there are additional processes which were discovered using alchemy or rituals to transform biological life into Yuan Ti. This can be done to any race. And this is what Malik plans to do. How exactly, I do not know. But his plan is to turn everyone in Icewind Dale into Yuan Ti. This we cannot allow. I can theorize that he plans to use Yoshinomi's great power, and in doing so, it will result in abyssal insanity to everyone afflicted. Malik and Enki are both being manipulated by Yoshinomi, and they lack the insight to see this. You notice that it sounds very like something very personal to him when every time he's talking about Malik and Enki.
Kind of look at the group. So our first thing is just to go destroy the statue?
He nods.
Is the statue dangerous to touch?
He'll say, I am unaware. I do know that they fished it out from the lake, the frozen lake.
Do you know if there'll be any tricks to destroying it?
He shakes his head. It is a statue at the end of the day. Of course, do not use poison or psychic against the statue. With that said, whether you have to fight it or not, I do not know. It depends on how much negative energy it has gathered already.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, current situation is probably not helping that.
We're going to have to do Ghostbusters 2 and have everybody rally around a giant symbol of happiness.
Everyone give Goku the spirit energy.
Mm-hmm. I think we shall go into the guise of Frozen Hearts and just claim that we're followers of the Frost Maiden.
He nods. That would be good. Y'all really... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if all else fails, we can always just have Tiffs get in there and steal it.
He shakes his head. This statue is larger than I am. It is not something that can be stolen.
This is the worst mission.
Well, thank you, Great One, for your time and your knowledge.
And he coughs. I can feel my sleep is coming along soon. Please use this place to perform more research. You can learn much about our people, even more about Yoshinomi and the threat that she holds.
Chira's got like the big shiny eyes, the happy, like odd face, like I get to play in the playground of knowledge.
With that, like you can see the quad like coughs up some more before it just like slowly like it folds its wings around itself and then it just disappears.
She turns to Tiffs, who's right next to her, and goes, "Can you believe we get to read all that, the scrolls and the thing together? Let us research their work."
Tiffs like kind of snaps awake. She's like tuned off for the entire thing. What?
Nice.
Chira's just too excited to even notice that Tiffs wasn't paying attention.
Oh shit! There's a big snake.
Oh shit!
All eyes just like turn towards Tiffs.
Do you say that out loud?
No, just, like sleepily to herself.
Okay.
Is it audible?
Yeah, it's like...
Brick just kind of like bops her on the head.
Damn!
Be respectful.
You get some looks from the guys over here.
What's your language, miss?
But they don't do anything.
It just like scratches her head.
Well, Tyura, go crazy.
Tyura gets up off her knees and dusts them off and approaches the nearest.
You're symboled by this individual here. To you can.
Oh, okay.
Here.
She comes over with her notepad,
Scrolls.
so she's not actually like looking him in the eye, and she's ready to write with her writing implement, and she goes, "Right, point me to the scrolls."
He'll allow you to usher in. With that said, you can use this place for downtime to
nice.
and do some research. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll find some other stuff.
Jackal's going to. She's been like regularly breathing, but like like in like the steady, like deep breaths of like somebody trying not to freak out.
Okay.
Like very regular. And so she's just like looking at like any of the auntie and just being like motion, like trying to like make motions of like I don't know, like a bathroom or something. Like, is there anywhere like I can go? I think.
Let's see. Yeah, they'll direct you to like let's say like over here. Let's call this the bathroom. This one over here will like direct you to enter in, and you can use that to do your dues.
Okay. Yeah, I Jackal goes in and just starts her breathing starts getting irregular as she's like and like it's like she like actually throws up in her hand just like a little bit.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, that was intense.
Wow.
Oh, you guys don't see that. But,
yeah, Tyura never noticed that.
But yeah, Jackal, you're in there and you're just kind of.
Yeah. Whew. Now she's like shaking like a little bit.
Yeah, it's very intense for you. Let's see. Yeah.
Brick looks over to Amber. So yeah, I picked this up from Ariel, and he's like, here, it just like every day you can make a certain amount of liquids. Today it's fine.
Is that any liquid then?
Specifically, not every liquid. It's sorry, because it's a different list. I gotta look it up. So beer, honey, mayonnaise.
Oh, an alchemy jug. Yeah.
Oil, soy sauce.
Beer, you say?
Hi, about 4 gallons a day.
Oh, I can drink that in a night.
Well, wine unfortunately is limited to 1 gallon, but you know.
Oh, who drinks that stuff?
Well, I figured it was a little stronger to. I don't know. Just it's good. But tomorrow I'll let you have a go at it.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Amber comes back and just has all these goodies.
Mm-hmm.
I also asked about.
I got some goodies myself. I have boots that make me fly.
You're gonna need that mind sharpener.
Oh yeah.
That alchemy jug.
Definitely.
Brick kind of pulls out a little amulet. He's like, I also got this from Ariel. Once a day, I can, if I drink some kind of spirit, about a pint or so, I can get a little healing out of it.
Oh, that's perfect. You can take care of yourself a little more then. Yeah. I can focus on anyone else.
The good thing is that whoever's wearing it, so if someone else needs it.
Oh, that's great. I got one myself, and I'll show off my amulet of the devout. It's just a symbol of Ivaldi, which is my god. Mm-hmm. Should make my stuff stick a little harder on our enemies and friends alike, you know.
And I've got a wand of smiles. Brick, can I use it on you?
Absolutely.
Ha! And I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Brick is already smiling.
So it doesn't know if it worked or not.
I'll make the charisma save. He's like,
well, he's smiling anyway, right?
Smiling anyway.
Now your charisma works.
Best purchase I ever made.
That'll come in mighty handy. Maybe that's the kind of positive energy that the town needs to fight off the demon.
That was prescient on your part to get that.
Sure, it'll help. Yeah,
to have positive energy in the town.
Yes, forcing people to smile. That's it.
Right. I'd imagine like definitely some people will hate that.
They could tell you make it.
Like I immediately regretted getting this. I was like, oh no, I'm taking away someone's consent to smile. Or I'm not jackass that tells people they should smile.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh, wow.
That's really, as soon as I thought, I was like, I hate this item. I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, you're that person. Oh no. But hey, it's okay. I like the idea of Elfire not thinking of that, and it's just like, it's good to smile. Yay!
Yay! Always ask for consent. Use it first.
But Tyura, there's several scrolls here. You notice there's a couple of books, but it's mostly scrolls.
Tyura's using her magical tinkering to make a whole bunch of things glow, so she's got lots of light.
Sure. There's several topics you can read up on. You can read up on the Genesis, the creation of the universe. You can read up on let's see, the Serpent Age, the Serpent Empire, and I should say, which who knows what that's going to. You can read up on the fall of the Serpent Empire. You can read up on the Age of Dragons. And you can read probably more stuff is involved there. But
you said I could read up on Ertu and Yoshinomi, right?
Did.
Yeah, so she's going to focus on that since it seems especially important. Plus, they said that we can come back, so she's going to be on task for a little bit. Although she certainly runs her hands gently over the other scrolls, like, "Ooh, I'm going to get back to you later."
Okay, gotcha. So it's your choice because this is kind of something it's going to take a couple of hours to read through and such. Mm-hmm. Even though the actual information is just a couple of paragraphs, you're still going to need in-game. Tyura's going to be spending a couple hours here.
Yeah.
So right now, we can split into downtime, and have your characters kind of just do what they like to around, or we could have if everyone wants to do research, that's an option too. Or whatever. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
You can let Tyura carry it, and I want to as a player don't mind if you go and do other stuff because this is so in character for her.
Yeah.
Brick's an avid reader, but I think he's gonna do something else.
Yeah, I want to check in on Jackal.
I was gonna check in on Jackal as well.
Yes. Oh yes, I forgot Jackal's throwing up. But let me say, at Jackal, after you throw up and all that stuff, what do you do after that?
I momentarily forget that I can clean this up with prestidigitation, so I actually summon a cloth to try to clean up whatever is thrown up is on the ground and stuff. I'm just that sort of minor panic attack, freak out or whatever. It's she's isn't thinking straight.
Mm-hmm. Definitely panicking. Let's see, Amber and Elfire, you do a thing and knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Everything all right in there?
Fuck. Give me a minute.
I can help you with that. I have calm emotions prepared.
Yeah, she's after a little, she's just frantically trying to clean herself up a little bit, and it's just but after a little bit, she's just fuck. So yeah, you guys hear signs of her being definitely upset.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in then.
Yeah, Elfire will open the door.
It's all right. You need any help?
Close the fucking door.
I will do so.
Did you come in also, or?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. But yeah, Jackal's just kind of freaking out just a little bit, pacing back and forth, just very mildly, and just fuck.
You want a bit of magical assistance? Mike might be able to help you calm down.
She like looks at you and just like does like a hands in the air in the like next to her face, like, I don't know.
Oh, I can give it a try. And I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
Yay.
Okay, I'll willingly fail that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just take some deep breaths. We're all friends here. I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
Why are you freaking out, Jackal?
Why are we here? Why are we doing this?
To make the world a better place.
Why am I here? I wanted to get away from weird shit like this. I thought the thing with the frost god, I thought that was like a red herring or a fool's errand or whatever, and we'd be out in the wilderness for like, doing nothing for like forever. I would have been fine with that. But no, now it's like saving the fucking world shit, like, fuck.
You rather just do nothing for the rest of your life?
Yes! Wouldn't you?
Wouldn't mind drinking. But,
what do you want to be free to like do whatever you wanted to do?
Yeah, but if we don't do this, you won't be able to do those things.
That's why I hate it.
I didn't think we'd be getting in this sort of deep shit either. Anavar just said, "Oh, I got something to tell you about the Sunblight clan." I wasn't expecting a 50,000-year-old temple under the fucking snow.
Honestly, I just have nothing better planned while I'm here.
I wasn't expecting to meet like the closest thing to an actual ancient god either.
Yeah, I think that's a bit above our pay grade. We should probably let the other team know sometime. I think Sayume would be a little interested in our encounter here.
This just feels way over our head in a way that's it's like we were kind of just out in like a puddle, just playing around in a puddle, splashing around, and now we're way the fuck over there. Not even on in the ocean, but like on a planet made of ocean or something.
Yeah, it certainly feels like we're in another realm, huh?
Man, wouldn't that be terrible? And I deadpan look at the two of them. This is like a Tuesday for me.
Well, not all of us have the benefit of plane shifting.
More like plane ejected.
Sounds like you got a much deeper story than you're letting on then.
Maybe one day I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, how about you tell us now? Like while I'm like actually sort of not mad. What's your deal? You gonna steal our souls, steal our names, steal our memories?
I don't think she's that kind of fae.
How high up the food chain do you think I go?
Well, obviously you can go around port to port, do whatever you want. So I'm just like, little bit scared, little bit
turned on.
No.
Oh no. Okay. Let's just say you fuck up once, and you can just be blinked out of existence just because of the whim of somebody.
Oof. High stakes.
That's the Feywild.
Hello there.
Jackal's really calm about that. Like after you say that, like she's like thinking quietly to herself.
Thank you. Horse animal?
Hello
I'm
there.
used to being around people with extreme personalities.
Horse quarter.
And
Interesting.
this is pretty tame for me. So I think you can find some comfort in that they're not going to just straight up kill us. or yeet you into the next plane.
Hello there.
Not
But,
these things, at least.
Yeah.
Another hoss. Huh.
But honestly, we probably can't do this without you.
Don't say that.
Prove me wrong, then.
No.
What you have in second thoughts?
If I wanted to, I could get out of this city quicker than any of you could stop me.
Well, noted. But are you going to do it?
Hello there.
There's a long pause before she just says,
You don't want to leave the city and turn up like Enders.
She was like, gotta say, I don't know yet. But then, like you said, Anders, and she's like, fuck.
Who?
I suppose he was traveling with us before you turned up. He was killed.
That's unfortunate. But perhaps maybe sticking together, we can actually get through this. And we can... You can get back to doing nothing, you can get back to drinking, and I can try and find my way back to the Feywild. Who knows?
He's still out there, too.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to her. She just disappeared that day. Hope she's alive, at least.
Companion of yours?
Aye, although we don't have any evidence of that one, and if she did pass or not. Although I'm sure we'd have found out by now from Ariel or someone else in the Stormhearts.
I don't know. We do see a lot of dead folk on the road.
Yeah, these blizzards are no joke. Hopefully we can do something about them. That's why we're here, right?
Anyway, did you want to do some light reading to take your mind off of it?
Yeah, I'm sure Tura's in there having a blast.
That she is.
Actually, I think I could use some Tyura right now.
Aw.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah, no problem. If you ever need to talk about anything, just let me know.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness.
I just leave.
It was a genuine question from Jackal.
Yeah, I'll just turn to Jackal. Real smooth. And I'll also leave.
Oh, what? Fuck. And then she finally remembers that she can prestidigitate the vomit.
Yeah.
And
While we're leaving, I'll just dip into Elfire. She doesn't mean it. She's got a lot on her mind, apparently.
Once the three of you come out, before you move your characters, Anavar will come up to you guys and be like, "Hey, you guys okay there?"
Yeah, just getting everyone centered.
Jackal's there as well. He's like, "Well, hey, I know you're here to read and all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure you'll find lots of cool stuff amongst the shelves, But there's something I want to share with you. I mean, I don't know who can get it. Maybe someone amongst your party, whoever's uses stuff like this. Or maybe I don't know. You could share it. I don't know. Your choice. But anyway, I wanted to give you this.
What is this?
And he hands you the Elder Staff.
Oh my god.
Cries and Monk.
Cries and Monk. And like on one end of it, you see it has Anavar engraved in it. Like his little name.
Right.
But yeah, for the rest of it is
is this yours then?
It's like, I mean, sure, but I'm giving it to you. I mean, you could probably smudge that out. It's fine.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Get some sandpaper. Just rough it out.
No, are you kidding? Look at all this character it's adding.
Oh well, wow. Well, thanks. I mean, I actually carved this myself. It's embodied with a lot of power over all these years that I embodied into it. It actually means a lot to me. I'm actually taking second guesses of giving it to you, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. You guys are like the chosen heroes and stuff. It's gonna be better off with you. It's not like I ever got to use it. I mean, every day I do my katas in practice. It helps me keep in shape and also keep it focused. And it keeps the depression away. But you know what? It's better if you guys take it. It is. It really is.
Are you sure? This seems pretty important to you,
sure.
Anavar.
Oh no! Sure, it is important to me, but that's why also I'd give it to you. So it's important to you too. I hope you guys use it.
I want to insight that to see if he actually if he is genuinely interested in giving it to us, or if he feels bad about losing it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, roll insight. 15. No, he doesn't. He generally this is important to him.
Okay,
but it's just as important that he's giving it to you.
Right.
You can kind of feel like what's your background again?
I am a faction agent.
Okay. Not that. You can kind of feel that this is like when someone like a common folk gives you an item
Yes.
that you use on your adventure.
Sure.
It kind of feels like they're part of it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Anavar, when we're done this whole thing, we'll be sure to return it. How about that?
And it's like, you don't have to return it. How about, I know you guys are the Stormhearts, and you have your cool guild, and it basically has a museum and stuff. Hey, how about, you hang it up in your museum? That'd be really cool. That'd be really, when you add it to your inventory, maybe even to say Anavar's Eldritch Starts. I don't know, whatever. But, it's yours now. It's yours.
I'll put a hand on his shoulder. I really appreciate that.
Would you mind signing it for us?
His name's right here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's engraved in the staff, like at the very on one of the ends. Just it just says Anavar in if you can read Draconic, that's what it's written.
I can.
Okay, cool.
I do want to roleplay the scene where Jackal joins Tyura.
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to do this. But Anavar after that, he's like, all right, cool.
I'll pass the staff to Jackal, who I know is the magic expert.
Sure.
See if you can put use to this, I suppose.
Just highlighting, you don't need to be a spellcaster to use this.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I'm full up on attunement right now, though, so.
Elfire, politely hold your tongue.
I don't know if I can use this to the best of its. I don't think I can do this justice.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tyura hopping from foot to foot, like she's got to go to the bathroom. Like, oh my god.
How about you then? And I'll hand it to Elfire.
If you really want to just hand it off to anybody.
Now, listen, Tiffs, Brick, and Tyura aren't. Well, Tyura's weird with the magic, I suppose, but between the two of you, I think you're the only arcane casters we've got, so it's between the two of you.
I can ask the others and see if they would like to use it as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
I'll go awkwardly walk to Tiffs and Brick and be like,
Mm-hmm.
Here's a
Sorry,
cool
I
magic.
was gonna say I was gonna do something when they had ran off. It
okay.
Like you would have probably ran into me a little bit closer. Brick wanted to go over to Anavar.
Oh, okay.
So Anavar, is there any way to get a little, fitness, maybe a sparring match or something, just kind of loosen up? I don't know if it's disrespectful or anything, but just, I don't know, anybody would want to do a little scrap just for practice.
And he thinks like, we do stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't know if that's appropriate for us to bring an outsider. I don't know. Are you a psionic?
No.
Yeah. Oof. Are you a spellcaster?
Not at all.
Oof. Are you you use finesse weapons?
No.
Oof. Yeah, I just don't know, man. It's kind of like not within our field, if that makes sense. I mean, even if you met any of those criteria, at the same time, it's not really something we kind of do. Like we kind of keep that to ourselves. I mean, we're sharing our knowledge with you. You know, you got your friends, you have access to our library, our scrolls, which are extremely important to us. I mean, this is our history and culture. I mean,
Right, of course.
You know, that's more important than our lives. I mean, we literally live for this. But I mean, you know, we got into trading and stuff. I mean, yeah, we do that, but like we kind of keep that to ourselves. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, the ways that
Anova, say no more. Say no more.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, you know, maybe some other time, or I mean, maybe not here. Maybe like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if there's a fighting arena or something, but you know, he's just kind of rambling off to himself at this point.
I just thought, you know, maybe like the book learning would probably help them out a little bit, but you know, I tend to be right in the face of things, and learning from I don't know, some of the skilled warriors would, you know, maybe teach me something about, you know, my particular role specifically, I guess.
Anifar like wisely nods, and he's not talking. He's like thinking for a moment, and he just says, "Let me talk it over with the boys, the fellas. I mean, maybe not today, but we'll check with you. Maybe I'm sure you guys will stay here and you save it for another day or two."
Absolutely. And then I guess Elfire would come out.
Yeah, at that point, you know, you head on back, and like Elfire's like talking about the staff, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if one of y'all would like to use this.
It's not quite my style.
I'll probably say like you guys don't need to make any rolls. You can see that Elfire wants this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just being polite.
Bricky just being like trying to like, it's not quite my style. It's not quite heavy enough for me. I don't know. Tiffs is kind of a stabby instead of a bonky.
Fuck I want a stick for.
See?
That's good.
Well, there's your answer. It's all yours. Do you make that sound in character?
Sure.
Nice.
Like once everybody says like no, then she's like, oh thank God. I mean, you know, it's totally fine.
Brick kind of leans over to Amber. Reminds me when one of my kids gets a present.
I can see that.
I actually like almost bought a +1 staff, and then I was like, nah, I just punch it.
Surprise.
Santa's here.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, this is a textbook thing. It's from the Feywild text guide. Shit, I forgot the name. Guide to Wildlight or Witchlight, whatever.
Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Whatever. Thanks. But yeah, I took it from there, and it was really cool. So.
Yeah, it's a very good item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah. As for
Jackal.
those in the library, Jackal and Tyura, yeah, exactly.
Okay, great.
Jackal, you enter into the library.
Tyura's just reading furiously. Her finger like following along is where she's reading. She's mumbling to herself.
Now, Tyura, do you know Draconic?
Oh, let me check. I might not. Oh no, I don't know Draconic.
Uh-oh. Jackal, do you?
If I cast this, I do.
Can you read?
I mean, I can read, but
yeah, it takes about 1 minute to read one page of text. It says so right there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Tyura, as you enter, you start taking down the scrolls, reading them, and I don't know. You tell me how Tyura reacts.
Okay, Tyura sees
It's
all,
Draconic.
all of the script that she can't read, but she's like looking for illustrations, and she's like looking and trying to find anything that seems at all like gnomish.
Oof. Let me see. Would there be illustrations? No, unfortunately, no illustrations.
She's still going to be looking at like just the fact that these are historical artifacts, and she's still fascinated by them. And let me see if I have anything that would let me comprehend. Because I do have spells.
We'll say like Tyura's like appreciating these, right?
Yeah.
When Jackal enters,
she's looking at them and she goes, "Oh, Jackal, hey! Look at these beautiful scrolls. They're made of the finest vellum I've ever seen. I don't know how old they are even. I know they've been transcribed multiple times, but in any case, I hate to say, I don't know the script. Do you by any chance know what this is?" And she kind of holds open one of the scrolls to her.
Okay.
I can help, kinda, at least. It's
Can you translate?
Yeah, it's slow, but I can do it. I can help.
So go ahead and make a linguistics check, which would just be be intelligence, but make it with advantage as Tiffs is helping. Hey, not Tiffs.
Oh, whoops.
Tyura is helping you.
Big roll.
So
That's a huge roll.
Whoa. Yeah, one more time if it's an advantage. Okay, so
okay, excellent. So you recognize, as I mentioned, it's draconic, but it's not just draconic. There's how it's written and stuff. It's in a very ancient way. Honestly, like it's something you've never seen before. Just part of this is just like, holy shit. I don't know what might be going through Jackal's head, but number one is like just these writings would be insanely cost a lot of money. And what you're reading is just insane to you. And number three, what it's written by. The keeper, as they mentioned, they wrote these themselves. What you're seeing is not written in ink and quill, if you will. This is written in with celestial energy.
Okay. Would I have seen anything like this before?
Given your background, I will say you've seen this, but the Infernal version.
Okay.
Written in Infernal by a let's say your foster parent, right?
Yeah.
But this is obviously different. This is with the information. Absolutely not.
Yeah, definitely not the information, but just like getting the familiar feel of like the text, right, and stuff like that.
Like how it's written, like the same way it's written, like someone with like you've seen it being done, like their finger is filled with energy, and they don't even touch the paper. They just kind of just scan their finger on the scroll, and the words come out onto it. And I guess in Jackal's mind, they can just imagine like, the Quaddle doing this with, their wing. So, well, obviously with celestial and with divine energy.
This might be, I guess, easier than I thought, but
are you saying you can read it?
Well, yeah, with the help of magic and stuff. But
oh my goodness, you're a lifesaver! I was going to be standing here looking at them like they're works of art. I mean, they are, but it would be so much more wonderful to be able to read them. Oh my goodness, if you would mind helping me translate.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Maybe we should get them organized, I guess.
Tyura like hops back and forth on her feet, and she goes, "Oh, absolutely, I can get on that right away. One moment."
While like Tyura is talking, just spouting constantly, like Jackal like is a lot more calm. Just like she's just like sitting there like listen to Tyura just talk constantly, and for the second time of the day. The second time of the day, like ever since, and this isn't just because like she was so knowledgeable about describing different kinds of meats and stuff like that, but she's like just enjoying the sound of her voice just constantly going. It's like almost like a white noise.
Yeah.
And she's just full of enthusiasm, and she's just bouncing back and forth from the scrolls. And you can tell that she's very grateful to you, Jackal, for your help. She's like heaping praise upon you and saying like, "Oh, when I was down here thinking, what am I going to do with these, and wondering how am I going to read up on Yoshinomi when I don't even understand Draconic, and apparently it's not even Draconic. You said it's some sort of a dialect. You said, well, I'm so glad you're able to understand it." She's just heaping on praise, and
every time, like Jackal's just like, "Yeah, thanks," and like that's it. like only one or two words of response.
I love it. Nice.
Aw, they're gonna be a good team.
So let me give you some information. So you're looking up on Iratu and Yoshinomi, correct?
Yes.
All right, so there's not much more about Iratu than what your role gave you. The only other thing is that, let's see, he defeated the Baelor with the help of Lolth. So currently he is the most powerful Baelor in existence. As I mentioned, like every few centuries, he materializes the material plane. He's very fixated on taking over Icewind Dale, and you know the reason why is before Yoshinomi. Yoshinomi is his partner, one of the main partners. Demon Lords are very horny. They have multiple partners as well. But Yoshinomi is like his main. Arcane, Pat. And or nature, I suppose. But alright, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much about it about Iratu. Yeah, so like he's currently the most powerful living Baelor. Baelor himself, as in the Baelor, is sealed by Lolth within her webs. Actually, I guess at this point she's eaten him already, but whatever. But yeah. So and like Iratu wants nothing more than to like just erase Baelor from history and make himself become the name of the race of the species,
like the most powerful that ever was, by getting rid of the other guy from history.
Right, obliterate him from history, and like he wants the race Baelor. He wants it to be called Iratu, named after him.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Like he wants to even go back to Lord of the Rings and be like, "That's Iratu, not a Baelor." You know, he wants to rewrite time somehow with it. Anyway, that said, he also wants to please Yoshinomi. And so yeah, like let's talk about her. I keep wanting to say Tiff's name. I don't know why. Jackal. With Jackal's help, you know that Yoshinomi, as you're reading it, Yoshinomi is actually half Saruk as well. She's half Marilith, half Saruk. Meaning that she, let's see, I guess you won't know many details about Saruk itself. All you know is that Saruk is the oldest race, and they rule the planet, and they are the ones responsible for creating Yuan-Ti. They're their direct ancestors, if you will. And it mentions her, the name of her quote-unquote father. You might want to write that down. Oh, excuse me. Her father is Yithrin. There's only like one line about it, and that's it.
Doesn't have any detail about what it was.
No detail other than it's a Saruk. Like her father is using like quotation marks. I'll give this to you. Saruk aren't like they're biologically they're asexual. They can't reproduce. Hence why they made Yuan-Ti. Hence why they call Yuan-Ti their children, because they can't like reproduce. They just create them through whatever means they can. And that's all you're getting for now.
Okay.
But you know for sure Yoshinomi is like way more powerful than any other Marilith, like any average Marilith. she has the innate ability to shape change. She's a shape changer, and she favors a humanoid form, which you can take for a Yuan-Ti. It's mentioned she has drunk the blood of Sakuruk, the great worm of ice. Jesus. All right, which makes her fully immune to any cold. And she desires the flame of Suruk. And it mentions that's the cold fire, the blue flame. Cough, cough. Team B, cough, cough. In its purest form to become truly immortal. Yoshinomi has massive aspirations. She's very power hungry. However, she holds the belief that she's never to be the one in charge. Always be number 2. Play the long game to win. She specializes in fire and heat, and she desires to melt away the winter of Icewind Dale to restore it as the jungle that once was, as Sakuruk once promised. She also specializes in poisons and whips. I think I mentioned this earlier. She has a whip that she can change to any damage type, titling her as the Lady of 13 Lashes. See, she is also a lover of Demogorgon. And Demogorgon is very possessive over her. Yoshinomi has attempted to form relationships with other demon lords, but Demogorgon prevents that. This includes Gratz and Orcus. Demogorgon is also responsible for thwarting Urtu, much to Yoshinomi's
dismay.
Dismay. That's exactly the word, because that messes up her plans. Yoshinomi is also a rival with Auril and Levistus. She has tried to court Levistus, but Levistus is basically begone thought. And she herself is stuck in the abyss currently. She has materialized in the material plane before. However, some heroes and adventuring party banished her from that. Cough, Icewind Dale game, cough. Though she's stuck in the abyss, she's forced to service Demogorgon. And currently, as you already know, she's under the guise of Deep Duera to manipulate the Sunblight clan, Zardarok and the Sunblight clan. Hooray!
She's under the guise of what?
Deep. Let me type this. So you know this name because when you guys were in that shack, when you fought all those Duergar, right? They were saying this name, Deep Duera. Deep Duera is Nino check. You know who this is, right?
Okay.
Deep Duera is a paragon amongst Duergar because she's just a badass who killed a bunch of Illithids barehanded and drank and ate their brains and gained psionic powers.
So do I have any idea what she's actually trying to do with the Sunblight clan, or is it just like, oh, she's messing with them?
She's using them as a means for her to materialize into this plane.
Okay.
You already know that Zardarok is trying to take over this world. The Keeper also mentioned Malik. Let me just make sure because you guys know this as well. Master Malik. And Enki. They serve Yoshinomi. Malik. His plan, Malik does not want to kill anybody, right? Malik seems peaceful, but Malik's actual plan, as a Brick rolled a persuasion, I believe, right, to uncover it. Malik's actual plan is to transform everybody into a Yuan-Ti.
Wasn't he one of the Sunblight clan?
He's a Yuan-Ti, no.
Okay.
He's working with Zardarok. He taught Zardarok psionics. Or to say he's teaching currently. Alyssa told you that. Making Zardarok even more powerful. Malik, is a scion. Meaning he's very powerful with psionics. Enki, he is a mage slayer and holy guardian. Basically, he's the ultimate warrior. However, both of them are old. They're very old. So they're not in their prime. But that said, they know a lot. They're still a danger. Again, they don't want to kill anyone. They kind of, like Alyssa told you this, they don't want to kill anyone. Their goal is, and as the keeper told you, their goal is to turn everyone into Yuan Ti.
Okay. So Jackal and I are figuring that out.
Yes. Together.
Teamwork.
Yay!
I really like that that Jackal is picking up on the good vibes. That's nice.
And I'll say let's see, how long does I'll say all of that took you guys 1 hour.
Fair
exactly when comprehend languages runs out.
Could I have attuned to the staff in that time?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, Elfire, Old Brick was, I guess, a little bit like Tiffs, but more violent. Worked for a gang over in Luskin. It's not something I like to talk about anymore. It's not who I am now.
I can be plenty violent.
Yeah, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I tried to move on from that, and the sea was my kind of escape.
Now it's frozen.
Well, I mean, up here, sure.
Brick, you've been nothing but wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're nice.
I would say the oceans and, well, my wife calmed me down quite a bit. And after all the kids, I can look back and say, well, I mean, I definitely have some regrets, but, wouldn't change anything.
So, why are you out here and not with your family?
Well, that's the thing. My wife left me and took the kids along with them.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, it's my fault, unfortunately. There was one thing when you're on the sea, it's boring, and I used to bring books with me. I know I don't look quite like the studious type, but did fancy read now and then. And he kind of pulls out the book of legends that he got earlier, and well, I kind of had fantasizing about being adventurers and whatnot, and fortunately, I read a tale once or twice about, in books, and kind of led me to decisions that, unfortunately, had costed the crew, some people's lives. Kind of had convinced them to go somewhere too dangerous, and well, I was fired from fishing, and I had to break the news to Susie, and she left, and it was I had spent a lot of time on reading and whatnot and fantasizing. I guess I didn't really put my family where they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about finding them again?
I think, yeah, I do, but part of me says I gotta find myself a career that I can, support them with. And well, I mean, adventuring is one way, but unfortunately, it's keeps me out away from them. I don't know.
Well, hopefully, when all this is over, we'll have a big enough payout you can retire.
Or at least make their lives comfortable. So what about you folk? Why are you out here?
Would you believe I'm looking for ingredients?
Oh, what for?
Brewing.
You're out here for beer pieces?
Yeah. They say glacier water's real good for you.
Yeah. But how would you get back to non-glacier places?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Kind of signed up ahead without thinking, It's like, oh, this is a good opportunity, and now I'm here, and yeah. Not really sure how we're going to be getting back. I was a bit interested in learning about the Feywild as well.
It's quite a beautiful place. Definitely not like here.
That place has got a different effect on plants and the like, right?
Very true. Everything's very much more colorful and alive. And wants to murder you.
Well,
my dad used to be an adventurer. He said he went to the Feywild once.
Oh, does he know where? Did he go to any of the courts?
Well, he said he snogged a fairy queen.
Maybe that's why you're so enchanted.
Elfire, you don't need any roll. You just know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's only 2 fairy queens he could be talking about, and neither of them would ever do that.
Yep. She just kind of smiles in amusement.
You say that, but you never met Tiffs' dad.
But that's mostly a secondary thing. I'm just here to help people.
Damn. Help people, huh? Just like you helped Dazan.
So, yeah, actually, you looked a little dour when we got down, Amber.
Did you know that man?
I did.
What was he to you?
Well, he's more of an acquaintance, really, but he really helped me out of a pickle.
I'm sorry you had to see him like that.
Yeah, it's still processing, I was hoping to track down.
You cut out a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
I think maybe his connection pooped.
Just give it a sec.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Here we go.
Well, sorry, I lagged for a bit there. What did you guys hear?
I was hoping, and then it cut.
I was hoping to track down Imdra to see why he was set up to be executed in the first place. I didn't take him for the type.
They said he was a criminal?
Yeah, it certainly didn't give me that vibe when I met him.
And he was with the Arcane Brotherhood, right?
I don't know about that.
Roll Arcana. Not you, Amber. Sorry, I should have specified. What is that? 13. You're aware. Yeah, you're aware that he is part of the conclave, the Arcane Brotherhood. It's a pretty popular conclave. It's in where Brick's from. What's your places from? Where are you from?
Luskan.
Luskan, yeah.
I was actually going to work on that fact, yeah, once you... Because I think they're actually from... they're from Luskan. They're... But the details beyond that.
Yeah. Had you ever run into him?
Don't really trifle with the magic types. They I think would I know that they I think they have like a place there, Sean.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? No, roll history.
Actually,
or Arcana. History or Arcana, your choice.
Real quick, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
It's that last thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't need to roll. You know.
Okay. Yeah, they've come from Luskin.
Are they the criminal type, though? Again, I didn't really get that vibe from him when I met him.
I mean, I didn't really have to deal with them. Not at least not on down by the ships.
Right. Well, suppose I'll get my answers from her then.
Mm.
So, do we go destroy a statue now?
Well, it depends if Tyura and Jackal are done researching.
I could steal the statue.
Please don't do that.
I'll find a way. Then we could sell it.
No, we're not doing that.
I think we need to destroy it, regardless. Maybe you can sell a piece of it. Tell them people gives a magical demon energy or something, but not until the thing's fully destroyed. You reckon that Dazan had a place here in town, or just
Not sure. I suppose that's another question for Imdra again. I don't even know how long he stayed here. He might have just been staying at the inn, right?
You know, these guys have been here forever. Why don't we just ask Anavar if he knows where they live?
I suppose that's we could just do that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, they must have tabs on everybody. Anavar, dear.
And he's like, yeah, hey, Elfire, right? Yeah. What's up?
Do you know where, what's his name again?
Dazan.
Do you know where Dazan lives?
And he's like thinking, you mean the guy who got sacrificed, right?
That's correct.
It's like, well, no, he didn't live here. He was just staying here. He had a lot of gold. Like, he was staying up in the very fancy suite over in the White Lady Inn. Yeah, the whole time. He was here for 2 weeks now. Yeah. He was just able to hire some dudes to help work for him. He was excavating at some area. I don't know what exactly, but the whole deal why, he ended up getting sacrificed, well, it's because he actually murdered some people. And by that, I mean, murdered people. He hired some dudes to help excavate a site for him. And, well, to keep them quiet, apparently he killed them. I mean, I don't know exactly where the area is. I mean, you'd have to talk with someone in law enforcement or something who would actually know about all this case, I don't know what someone like that is. But maybe the captain, the guard. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, point is, he murdered people, and then all the people were angry. I mean, no one liked him. He was kind of an asshole. I mean, okay, I will be blunt. He wasn't kind of an asshole. He was an asshole. I came across him one time, and he was all, ugh, look, snake for arms. I mean, I get that normally from everybody. I mean, I'm very used to it, but he was doing that to me, and okay, whatever. Point is, he wasn't a very nice guy. Anyway, and then he did that. And he killed a lot of people. He killed 6 guys. 6 guys.
Question: was he a dick before or after he went on this excavation?
Oh no, that's day one. Since the guy came here, he was very demanding. He was staying in the very fancy suite, the fanciest suite, top floor, highest view, best view, nicest view. He was just mean to everybody.
You had any run-ins with anybody else from the Arcane Brotherhood?
And he shakes his head. No, Dazan's the only one. Well, I guess maybe his partner or whatever. This really weird looking guy. He wore a hood all the time. I don't know. Amber, are you there?
I am here.
I'm gonna give this to you.
Okay.
What's his face? Anavar is going to describe this fella as large, wearing armor. Make what kind of check can I make you make? You know what? Forget it. You'll get it. You're aware that Dazan, he had with him at all times a white. Dazan is a very powerful necromancer, so he had a sapient white under his service.
I see.
By the name of. Can't find his name right now, but you know about that. He had a white under his service. And so as Avanar is describing him, you're just like, oh, we have that guy.
Okay.
Krintas. There we go. Krintas.
Gotcha. Thank you.
What exactly happened to his partner after Dazan was murdered? Or sacrificed?
Avanar shrugs. No. The guy never stayed in the inn or anything.
I thought you had to be a resident in order to be up for the sacrifice, or did they just make an exception for him?
I think they made just an exception for him. I mean, yeah, you're right. Normally that's the case, but he's a criminal. They were gonna, execute him anyway. So I guess they're like two birds with one stone kind of thing, and just decided to sacrifice him up. Honestly, and I guess I don't know the sacrificial rules and all, but by sacrificing a wizard like this guy, he's probably like bonus points. I don't know, but yeah, they did that.
I guess you guys aren't on board with the whole sacrificial thing.
Who, us? I mean, he kind of says, I mean, it depends on what type of period you're talking about. I mean, us UNT, it depends, I mean, we have cultic origins, if you will. I should say origins, but some sects of us will have very cultic. I mean, they do sacrifices of all kinds. Listen, let me not get into that. Let me just say that us here, no. The answer is no. Okay. We're not into that.
That's good enough for me.
Yep.
Hey, baby, are you still playing?
Yeah.
Is
that Cheyenne? Is that Cheyenne?
It was Cheyenne, yeah.
Get him.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Let her know that, yes, you are. Sorry, Mom.
And you don't know exactly what he was excavating?
He kind of shrugs. No idea.
All right, well.
He does.
He wouldn't have been staying in the couple suite, would he?
I think that's the implication.
No, not the couple suite.
Oh, okay.
He was like in a different. He was in like a different kind of suite. Just for a single suite. Lakeview still, but the honeymoon suite is. I guess technically the honeymoon suite is the best suite. Oh, you know what? Ooh,
there's a presidential suite.
Let's say he was in the honeymoon suite, but he got it to himself.
Whoa. Well, I appreciate the tip. We'll be checking it out. I guess it's a place to start.
Oh, I guess so.
After we take care of the statue, of course.
Oh yeah, sure. Hey, don't forget too. I mean, we while we don't know exactly, we do believe we have some. We've seen some signs of the Sunblight clan being here, so watch out for that. You guys already know that Dearth is here, and he's around the ferry.
You guys have any jewelry or any metal work I can work with?
He's like, I mean, I guess we have jewelry.
Maybe I can make us some fake badges. You know,
Oh,
frozen
that's
heart
what he
style.
means. He just kind of shrugs. Yeah, sure. He's got like they have like some excess accessories and whatever you can probably use.
Yeah, I want to see if I could bust out my jeweler's kit and maybe just make like blue heart-shaped pendants. You know.
Sure, you can. Yeah. Roll it with using dexterity.
Okay.
Jeweler's tools.
Okay, I have it set at wisdom. Hold on, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the same thing. What?
Yeah, for sure. You make a little pin for everybody.
And if anyone asks, we are the Frozen Hearts.
Nice. Yeah.
We're going as like we're a biker gang. Next gang, a posse.
I mean, you guys are my groupies, apparently.
What are you implying?
What?
Should be called Tiffs and her terrific team.
Nah, I ain't doing that either.
Boo. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to pass on that one.
I like the idea of Tiffs trying to convince to be our manager. Listen, kids.
You need someone who's in, and I'm in.
Elfire, do you hit on everything, or just does it just kind of come out naturally?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I thought.
But yes, if it is punchable, yes, I will hit on everything.
Not exactly what I... never mind.
Shall we check in on Jackal and Tyura?
I have had enough gushing for one night.
Enough with these emotions. Kick in the doors.
That's what the booze is for, and I take another swig.
Are you guys entering the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, like, Tyura and is Jackal, like, helping her reading?
Yeah.
Tyura and Jackal are, like, cozied up together, poring over scrolls, and Tyura is just excitedly pointing to things and listening to Jackal translate and nodding excitedly and writing down notes and translating things in her notebook. And as soon as you guys walk in, she goes, "Oh, fellas! Oh, good to see you. Do you guys know Draconic by any chance? Ancient Draconic. It's an old dialect."
I know Draconic, but I don't think I can...
Come here.
Okay.
And she starts, like, gesturing ecstatically and pointing out the part in the scroll that they're at. And she's saying, "Oh, Jackal's doing an amazing job of translating so far, but you know her comprehend languages only last so long. So if you're a native speaker of Draconic, we could really use your help. Oh, come here and show me that. This is the sort of dialect we've been working with, and these are my notes. This is catching you up." She's just catching basically Odell.
Unfortunately, I only speak Koboldies, I guess would be it. Just the dialect.
Just to real quick, your Sylvan dialect would obviously be Satyr. That is your native tongue, and Draconic. Let's go with Fairy Dragon.
Perfect. Yeah, because it's gonna like. Her Draconic when she starts reading, it's gonna be like so broken, like almost untranslatable.
Correct. Like her fairy, like as I think I mentioned to you, like fairy dragons aren't even real dragons to begin with. So like they have this like very mock version of Draconic. Obviously, you can still roll like duh, but I'm just saying that the dialect is very different.
Oh
I've got Draconic too.
Yeah.
It's like saying, like, "Oh, I speak Korean." It's like, okay, well, where did you learn Korean? Because North and South Korean is very, very different.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say you're like the French of it because French is a made-up language.
I give you guidance if that's a thing I can put on linguistics.
Oh, sure. It's a skill check, so yeah, we'll say what you do.
Yeah, I can do that as well too. If anyone else needs
it.
Can I get a roll on that as well? Since I know a little bit of Kobold.
Everyone
What
who
the
knows
hell?
Draconic can go for it. Wow.
Nice.
And I know halfling.
Oh, I'm so glad you come join us. You guys actually know Draconic. I'm so excited.
All right.
Still broken as hell.
So
No,
you already went over
you can
the
help me
info.
take notes. I can't write down all this myself. How's your hand?
You already went over the info for Yoshinomi or two. What else do you want to learn about?
Well,
I think
I'll leave that up to the party since I already picked the one that I figured was most relevant.
it is. The rest is basically is mostly fluff. When I say fluff, I mean flavor. Well, whatever. They're the same thing. You know what I mean?
Fluffy flavor.
Mhm.
Fluffy flavor. Cotton candy.
Yummy.
Oh God, I can't find my
It's
post.
just so heartwarming that everybody's coming to help, though. I don't want to spoil that by not using it at all.
Elfire is more like begrudgingly, like, oh, I thought we were leaving. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
No, it's all right. I know a bit of Draconic. You know, they make a really mean whiskey.
So it's all right if we start into like the more history stuff and then someone says, this is a little bit heavy.
Maybe.
Maybe we can come back to this later.
If it feels like there's anything important that we're missing right now, but otherwise I think we're good to go.
Okay.
You're going to have to drag away Tyura.
At the same time, like, it depends on what you consider important.
That's very true.
There's a lot of info that it's basically the truth of this world.
Is there any information on Chardalin?
Chardalin itself? No.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does it have anything to do with Urtu being in a statue form? Is there any information?
No. That's already been given.
Ah, got it. I am good to go then.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the rest is like the genesis of the world, or I should say the universe. If you want to read how the universe was made.
I mean, Tyura, of course.
The serpent age. A lot of like just stuff on like not just the Yuan-Ti race, but like other races, the progenitor races, I should say, the fall of the empire, dragons in general. I don't know if anyone likes dragons and they're interested in that.
Fey dragons?
Not really. The fairy dragons are really just just their own thing.
Outside of the white worm, the only dragons I have met were the kobolds, and I don't know if you would classify them as that, but
to a degree, that's involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest is just fluff. We can say that you guys kind of just browse through things, and you want to say if you're uninterested, then you can just leave. Otherwise, we can do like a couple of hours of downtime or something, so everyone can do what they want.
With everybody's help, Tyura's filling up books, like notebooks full of notes on the scrolls.
You get Elfire for about an hour.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, and absolutely you can pull her away from research. I mean, she can't read it on her own. So as soon as you guys are pretty much done, she'll come along with you guys. But as long as you let her, she's gonna be researching.
Gotcha.
I know.
Brick's gonna go to Anavar real quick and just ask about something. Hey, Anavar, is there anything in your information there? And he kind of leans in, kind of being more discreet. Since you guys been around for a while, a ship, a particular an ancient ship of some sort.
He's thinking for a sec. Maybe if it's the same ship I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was. Most people think it's a myth or a legend, but.
And he's like, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. And he's like, well, there's some notes about it, but, I could probably tell you what you want to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, let me check this right here. Do you have the name of it?
I do.
I'm just going to request. I feel like I'm losing my attention span a bit. So if we could wrap soon, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, actually, I have to go.
Sure.
Okay.
So
you could just send me that in.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
Not to put the brakes on, not to pump the brakes or anything, but I do have to get out of here.
Okay.
It's whispered between the two characters.
I love all of you. Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.
Yay!
Hooray! Yeah, that was good. All right, gang. Hooray!
That's great.
Great. Yay.
Quick.
RP sesh.
Yeah, role playing.
I love it. Quick question. Eldritch attack. The wording says up to 3 charges. So is that 1d8 per charge I use?
Oh, I see what you mean. Give me a second. Let me read it over again.
I'm gonna get off.
That's what I think it is.
Okay, good night,
It's
friend.
you can expend up to 3 of these charges, and then you get a D8 for each charge. So you can do a 3d8 on your attack.
Yep.
But that's all the charges for the staff.
Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, 3d8 would be the charge that you expend. So it's only 3 at a time.
3 at a time per hit,
and
and
limited.
You have 10, right?
Yeah. So
And
I
up to 10.
yeah I could
Let's
do
see how much it has
one.
right now. All right, so right now it has a 7.
Okay. Let me put. Yeah, I gotta think for that. All right, because I just want to make sure that I was going to use that correctly. Where it's just like I could just expend 1 charge and then it's just 1d8, or I can spend it to 3 charges and it's 3d8.
Yes.
So if it's got 7, did Avanair was he in a fight or something that he had to either get out of or hurt somebody?
Practice. He was practicing with it.
Oh, okay.
I've got to log off too, so good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, friend.
Good night, bud.
It was one last go before he had to give it away to us.
Yeah, he had to just go invisible and teleport around and.
Yeah, exactly. He they do training every morning. It's just a case of he's not sure if he wants to include Brick on that. He has to ask the others. But Brick, to answer your question, so he gives you the real name of the ship of the Frost Maiden, which is actually called Yithrin Mithalar. That name, Yithrin, you've heard it before.
Yep, while we were working with...
Exactly. And I will also say that Jackal and Tyura saw that name as well. Yithrin is the parent of Yoshinomi, along with Amarylith. So this name Yithrin, or this word Yithrin, keeps appearing. Let's see. Other than that, all he tells you is that it is in the Great Reghead Glacier, the massive glacier that's on the map. It's frozen in there. It's one of Ariel's prized possessions. Make a persuasion check for me real quick.
Sure thing. Let's see, persuasion.
With advantage, because this guy, he likes you. So, no problem, 17. Yeah, he will say that, so he kind of leans in, and so he says, Yithrin. He won't go into much detail, but he says Yithrin himself is sealed in there.
And if he was unsealed...
He's just like, well, he like leans in. Well, Yithrin, he's actually the same kind as the Keeper, as in originally. He's, and he doesn't say it because saying the name is basically forbidden.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I forgot to do this, but like. The name itself actually instills primal fear in all living life. But like he will write it out with like in with minor illusion, let's say. And he says he's one of the Saruk. Yithrin is a Saruk.
All right, I'm gonna hop off. I love you all.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh,
Same. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
good night. Oh, yeah.